dialed in to Bucks and Brews, you might hear something you can use. Like tips on your cash or tips on the suds. You're gonna want to use the smarts of these stuff. Cause they know the brews, and they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks. So listen up, cause shit's not funny. And save yourself some beer money. Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and
Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and Brews.
We are back on Bucks and Brews. I'm going to try not to be as loud as I sound because I'm getting a little bit of feedback on that. So hopefully I will be able to control that a little bit. We have lots to get to this week. For our viewing audience, I'm going to show off something really cool before we talk about our beers. So we wanted a business card of some sort, and that's not easy to see from the camera there, but we have basically business card bottle openers with our logo on it. Thank you, the great Jack Razor, for our logo. And these look awesome.
Freaking sweet.
I am so happy with how these turned out.
I used mine already.
I'm using mine right now. Oh yeah, that works. That's a winner.
Yep. Green like money.
So
logo.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to not talk about my beer yet. Nick, you talk about your beer first.
I was gifted by my good friend David an Angry Orchard hard cider, the old-fashioned cocktail-style hard cider. So I love old fashions. I
know you do.
Great mixed drink. And then, of course, from there, I'm going to go to the Michelob Ultra. Let's see. I did a lot of drinking this weekend. Yeah, I say. And,
I did hear that.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a beer company out there I didn't try. I drank a lot of Long Islands.
You sent me a great TikTok about New Glarus.
I did.
You did.
What a fantastic TikTok.
I was very impressed. And that guy that did it owns Revolution Brewing in Chicago, which is another brewery that I absolutely love.
It randomly, like, it just come through, right? Like, this guy's like listing
for your page.
Yeah, listing things, and all of a sudden he talks about this woman that is the CEO of New Glarus Brewing, which I'm like, whoa, I didn't know it was woman owned.
And that's awesome.
I keep watching stuff. They're, the number 12 biggest distributor microbrew out there. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
That's insane.
We need them to be distributing in Grand Rapids.
To us.
Yes.
Quickly.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I guess we got to find a way to hook up with them.
I mean, here we are. I'm thinking I found like the world's small town thing. No, this is like a huge, everybody knows their name, cheers, here we go kind of a thing. We are,
by the way, jam-packed this episode. Mike has some news for you that you're going to absolutely love. I have a whole bunch of great things.
I don't think I remember what my news is going to be.
You do.
You will.
Oh,
that's really good.
I will tell you in a minute. So, Nick, talk about the beer that you have gifted to Mike and I.
Oh, so the beer that these two are drinking is a Yuengling Hershey's Porter. Yuengling is the number one largest micro distillery out there. And I have been searching for the Hershey's chocolate porter for 2 years.
Yeah.
Now, right. I mean, I keep telling people, hey, find it. Like, let me, when you get it, let me know. And down in Florida, speaking of that, how was your trip to Florida?
My trip was very good. The trip back sucked.
Yeah, I've seen that.
No, we can talk about that later.
But so I'm down in Florida and I find this 6-pack, and I mean, my eyes lit up. I'm a kid in the candy store, right? I officially found chocolate beer. And then I drank one. And have you boys tried yours now?
I have. Mine.
And?
It tastes like a porter you would get from a company that specializes in lighter, like lagers and things like that.
I would agree. It does not have a rich porter taste.
No, it's not robust in any fashion.
No, it's kind of a little flat and a little very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Your feelings are the same as mine.
I'm kind of disappointed.
I wanted a milk chocolate piece of Hershey's candy in my mouth. And what I got was like, how like you're a fat kid when
Mhm.
you try cocoa powder
Mhm.
out of the thing because
And you realize
no sugar.
you
and-
realize it's disgusting.
Not chocolate.
Or baking chocolate.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not. That's kind of what I get.
Yeah,
for
those
the
Yeah.
flavor
baking
of
squares. I
that.
remember trying to eat
Yes.
one of those before. It was like,
Horrible.
Right. I'm glad everybody has done this. Right?
Yes.
It's not.
oh,
There's
you're not
not-
the only one.
There's nothing else. Out
I used to drink. I used to take spoonfuls of Tang powder.
We now know what's wrong with
I-
Mike.
I loved Tang.
But
But not by the spoonful.
or like the powdered Nestea and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no.
Did that by the spoonful too.
like the nest, right? But so yeah, I was really kind of disappointed in my.
Yeah, I will
But-
agree.
It's because I really think it just didn't live up to what I wanted after the 2 full years of trying to find. I mean, I've had everything. From
Oh, yeah.
Like I've been there, right? Like
Well, you know what? I was expecting something better than the Samuel Smith's organic chocolate.
Yeah.
What is it? A stout, I think.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And it's phenomenal. It might be my favorite chocolate beer, and I was expecting this to beat it.
yeah.
Mhm.
And this is not anywhere near it. My second beer, because I can't drink much tonight because I'm having a procedure tomorrow,
Yeah.
will be Angry Orchard's Sinful, which is, I got to pull my glasses up to read it. It doesn't say. It's just cinnamon.
Hard
Cinnamon
ciders.
cider.
Yeah.
It's I've had it. It's excellent. I'm very happy with that. Mike.
Well, after I finish my Yingling, which I'm attempting to drink out of a boot. However, as I'm drinking out of the boot, I realize that it's
Bubbly.
every time. Well, not even that. It's every time I take it when I put it back down, it kind of like bubbles back up and everything. So I think when I move off of that, I'm going to move away from the boot. But then I've got Parent Brewing Company Imperial Fudge Cake Stout,
Oh, that sounds awesome.
and I can share a little bit of that.
I bet that'll taste better than this.
Could be. And I've got a Victory Sour Monkey Sour Triple.
Ooh, that sounds really good too. Mike has some fun beers.
So Mike made a trip.
Up to here.
Oh,
Well, up to here, but he also made a trip out Friday night.
oh,
And he
yes,
has
my
news for you.
Okay.
It wasn't to come get me.
It was
No.
not.
Did you call me, David, or did I call you?
I called you
Okay.
because Dawn goes, you better get a hold of your friend. Something's up.
Yeah, that was definitely something up.
So I went to Beer Exchange on Friday night.
Kalamazoo.
And yeah, and I
All
just, wearing my Bucks and Brews shirt,
Yeah.
talking about the podcast, saying,
To our favorite beer tender there.
yes,
Logan.
yeah. And I said, they'd really like to come here and do a podcast. I said, yeah, you should do that. But her suggestion was, so you're not dealing with a bunch of crowds, is their Sunday night in the basement, where they're usually not super busy. They've got an area you could set up in toward the back and everything.
Do they have the ticker going?
Oh yeah,
Because I'm not going.
They do.
Anytime, any day they're open after 6 o'clock, they have the ticker.
After 6. Okay. Just say, because we know the story, man.
I
go
do
at
know the
noon.
story.
We talk-
And even it's kind of cool is when you're in the basement along that back part,
Mhm.
it's kind of like one of the rolling like marquee displays.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So, no, that, all right. I see.
See, he's got good news for you.
We'll have to see this invite.
So we're going to talk mental health tonight. And I got a couple mental health things I got to plug before we
Yeah.
jump into that. The first one is Mental Health Awareness Month, I believe is May. So Break Room Therapy is going to be selling a shirt that basically says break the stigma, mental health matters.
It's really
There you go.
cool looking shirt.
How much are
It
those?
is. They're going to be $20, and the proceeds will go to Silence Spoken, which is a local charity that helps with mental health. So Dawn really wanted to find somebody that is local that supports
Yeah.
the community. So I thought that was great.
Consider me a shirt.
All right.
Let's say. Just rolling out money right here on national TV.
Very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
And
Me
then
too.
we had a appointment at Break Room Therapy last weekend
Yeah.
from other podcasters.
Really?
And when I got here, either Friday or Saturday, I don't remember the exact day, I had several staff members jump me and give me their business card.
Okay.
They're the Recovery Pod, and they talk about recovery and addiction and literally every kind of addiction, mental health awareness, things of that nature. I talked to the guy a little bit earlier today. I told him we were going to give them a really nice plug today. So if you're out there and you want to know more about addiction, or you're struggling with addiction, please go and find the Addiction Pod. Give them a listen to. Great people.
Did you say Recovery Pod?
Gumball,
Sorry, the Recovery Pod.
Gumball Head, right?
Yeah, Gumball Head is another recovery person that we are very close to. So got a couple really good things right there. I know he's listening to our episodes right now while he's finishing up some work and stuff, and I'm definitely going to go listen to some of theirs, and maybe we'll get a partnership going there.
That'd be nice.
I have another podcasting story for you. So our last episode 2 weeks ago that we did with the Millennial Money Witch, Betty's Pages, and Break Room Therapy.
Yeah.
Break Room Therapy did one the next day with that damn podcast.
Okay.
And of course, when we're talking, I obviously talked about Bucks and Brews. So they were curious. So we started talking, and they think what we do is great as well. So that damn podcast is out there supporting us. I know that 2 of the guys live close. They live in South Bend.
Okay.
And they're going to come up for a break room therapy session at some point.
Sweet.
I think when they come up, we should afterwards come upstairs here and do a podcast together.
That'd be fun.
So a lot of things in the hopper there. I'm very excited about. And of course, speaking of the hopper, because why not do this at the beginning of the episode? Next week is going to be one of my favorite episodes, because we are going to go see one of my favorite people in the world, Steve Henderson, who is literally like a father to me. We're going to talk about starting your own business, retiring from your business, investing mistakes that he's made, what he can do with his money to earn some money and not be too aggressive with it. All sorts of great things next week. Really looking forward to that episode.
Yeah. Say we mentioned a couple podcasts. I say before we start, right? We're talking mental health, so I want to give a shout out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So the phone number for that is 800-273-8255. If you don't want to make a phone call, they actually have a link for chat. They have an official website. So guys, if you're thinking about anything, reach out to somebody. So this is important to us. It hits home. David, you've been in lows. I've been in lows. Mike, you've been in lows, right?
This was good because you guys did, like, what was it? Pretty early on, I thought in Bucks and Brews, you guys did as it related more to COVID and everything.
Yes.
Yep.
And
now it's weird. I feel myself slipping back into it quite a bit. My life is getting more and more stressful. I can't say I'm the healthiest person to talk about it, right? But I'm open to share it because, you guys know just as much, right? Like I used to be the person that would be on Facebook. Hey, if you need something, reach out, right? And like, to be honest, I never reached out to anybody.
No.
But I was always the guy who's like, hey. And now like the older I get, the more I tell people about my faults and about my troubles and issues that I'm having, right? And people are like, oh, you'll get through it, just man up and do it. And that's fine, right? Like there's that people, but to me, I don't know, I'm a big guy. So if you see somebody like me that speaks out, right? I just want to impact at least one person, right? To let them know, hey, make that phone call, do those types of things.
Well, that's a good point too. I don't know if we talked about this on the show, Nick. You would probably have to refresh my memory since my brain sucks. So I sent you a text a few weeks back, and I basically, told you that things were not going real well.
Yep.
My brain's a big issue right now because it's not processing the way it should, and I made the comment that if this is the best my brain's going to be, I should have just stayed home from the hospital and not gone in. And, you followed it up with, people need you around. Don't be despondent or anything. And I told you at the time, and I shared the same text with Mike, I'm not suicidal.
Right.
But I honestly feel like if this is the best my brain ever is, I don't want to live like this. You know what I mean?
Oh.
This is not me.
Yep.
So I honestly feel like if this is the best it is, I should have just stayed home and died.
And I get it, right? Like when I had the COVID brain, like I got more and more frustrated. Like I still, even to like this day, when I forget something, because I felt like I used to be great. Like now I just feel like I'm mediocre. And I'm like, hey, I walked into my desk today and there's just, hey, can you tell me what of this is done and what, where we're at? And I'm just like, holy shit, like this never happened, like this accountability aspect of things. It's like, I've always, so now I'm just, and it makes me mad because it's like, I have no idea, right? I'm reading this going, I don't remember being talked about this. So,
but Dawn for the longest time is like, we already had this conversation. And my answer was, good. Can you just tell me again? Because I don't remember. Well, you weren't listening to me. No, really, I was. I just literally cannot remember.
Right.
And for me, that's frustrating. So, mental health is a big deal to us. We're going to go over that stuff. When we get done talking mental health, we're going to go and talk about a bunch of things that have been happening lately, because I love to talk about current stuff.
And I think, just to throw in the mental health and to almost go with it from a financial perspective, if you don't have insurance, some of those, going to a therapist, not necessarily cheap. A lot of those now online therapy options are honestly probably more expensive than just finding a local counselor or somebody like that to go to. But, again, they're giving access to people who don't have easy access to it, which helps. But quite often, like I said, Nick mentions the suicide hotline, calling them is free of charge. So if you're feeling suicidal or somebody you feel might be being suicidal and you just want to talk to somebody and reach out. But what helps a lot, you can always find support groups online through different religious or other organizations. You can find, just friends, if you have really good friends, sometimes the best therapists you can have are just people you can talk to who aren't going to judge you.
Yes, absolutely. When I'm at my worst parts, I come to one of you two, or I go to Jim, or I go to Mikey. I know the people that I can go to that are just going to be like, hey, I get it. Go ahead and bitch and moan and let it out, and they're not going to judge, and it's just going to be what it is. And you hope that makes it better. And Nick and I have always been the type that we've told people, hey, if you have an issue, call us any time of the day. Mike's the same way. You call us any time of the day. We don't care. We'd rather talk to you than go to your funeral. Absolutely.
100%.
You need somebody to hang out with. I don't often drop my kids when I have them, but if I have a friend who needs somebody to talk to, I will leave my kids with their computers and video games for a couple hours, and I will come talk to you.
Well, again, different situation, but we went and held basically an intervention a couple weeks ago when you had your kids. And it basically was, hey, listen, I have to go do this.
Yep.
It's not that I want to, I just have to. And when we talk about money, especially, there's a stigma about it, and people don't like to discuss it. They don't like to open that part of their life because most of them don't really understand it. They feel stupid. They feel worthless. They feel like failures. And money compounds all of that. When I was broke and didn't have money and was looking to file bankruptcy, I felt like at my absolute lowest point. I had to have somebody go and hold my hand while I filed bankruptcy because I couldn't do it alone. I just wasn't strong enough. And luckily, I had somebody that would go do that with me.
Yeah. When I was going through my divorce, and that was probably my financial low, just because it kind of, as we talked about in the divorce episode, it was a point of uncertainty. I wasn't sure what my income was going to be. Was I going to be able to live comfortably enough to, keep a decent roof over my kids' heads and stuff like that? And again, it was, all more financial related, along with, like I said, the personal side of things too.
That's, I get so frustrated when people don't understand my financial insecurities, right? And people think, oh my God, you have all this, like, how could you feel? And it's like, I tell people, I have the most money I've ever had in my life. I have, it blows my mind. But I still, I'm in fear, right?
Yep.
Like I lost my job and lost an income, and so it's still new to me and different. And I've built a life for my wife, for my daughter, And I have that fear of not giving them the same or better on a constant basis. And people are like, oh, you got to get over that. No, like I've built this for this, right? And like, you can't just get over things, right? Like I have a personal problem with it, right? And then, it's fun because you tell somebody, hey, yeah, I have $1 million, right? Or hey, what are you complaining about? You're completely fine. No, like I could lose everything in like a matter of seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't get it, and the more money, more problems isn't not always a thing, but I tell you, it's definitely a thing you have to think about.
When you've lived a certain way, like what you have lived, or what Mike and I have gone through financially, becoming better with our finances and more financially independent.
Oh yeah.
You have these fears about where you're going to be, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, because I've had plenty of people tell me, your money's fine, you make plenty of money, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, you don't know my finances, you don't know what I'm looking at, you don't know what I'm thinking, because I'm forecasting a year in advance.
Oh yeah.
I'm always looking at a year down the line, and of course what I do is I short my money and I up what my bills will be, and it always is in the red, and it always looks red.
Always.
And for me, that keeps me on the line of, I have to make sure we're going to be all right.
Yeah, I think that's what I especially for you and I, it's one thing that we actually both quite do, right? If I'm having a real conversation and doing a real budget with people, like, I bring up the Caitlin episode, right? Hey,
By the way, hi Matt.
Hey Matt.
Hi Matt.
The Caitlin episode,
Yeah.
where, I'm like, hey, I want real numbers on these things, right? But like, if I sit and do a budget, right? My electricity bill, $100.
Yeah.
My gas bill, $100, right? Like,
It's nowhere near what it is. It's
Right.
always higher.
Oh, 100%, right? Oh, hey, I know I pay, $244 for trash or whatever. No, I pay $300 a year, right? Like, I divide it out. Like, so sure, I have extras or whatever, but hey, I'm definitely in the red, right, on a constant basis.
That's the entire thing is you need to be, because you never know when things will actually increase.
Well, I'll tell you
because
what.
they're much more apt to increase than they are to decrease.
Absolutely.
Here's a factual statement for you guys, right? So, last year at this time, my 8-unit that I paid gas for, $886 or something for a bill. Okay, I just got my bill for this past month, $1,060 and something cents.
So
like
almost $200 more.
How do you not want to blow your fucking brains out
Yeah,
when it's literally more than what I'm renting the damn place for? Right? Granted, all of them, like, so each unit just cost me $120 something fucking dollars, and I'm sitting here going, I'm barely charging these. Like, I'm not making any money. And people are like, oh, you have to be making money. No, like, officially, like, I don't, and it's my own problem. It's how I bought it. It's whatever. But like,
You're making money in July. You're not making money in February.
You're probably making the most money in like fall and spring, when people are either A, using their heat, or B, using their air conditioning.
But I mean, you think spring, I'll give you, but like fall, I'm paying for fucking leaf cleanup on the
That's
console.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
Summer, it's just,
That's
it's
why,
ridiculous.
I could understand why you would still, even with the fact that you do have a decent amount of wealth built up, a lot of your future wealth is based on the fact that the housing market doesn't fail, and people don't lose their jobs and aren't able to pay you rent and stuff like that.
Right. And so there's always that fear.
Well, we're going to get into that next week too, especially talking to Steve, but he's told me, and of course I listened to him because he has 30 more years of, well, not 30, 25 more years of experience than what I have. Best investment he's ever made, real estate.
Yeah.
He's always made money on his real estate. He's lost money on other things, but he's always made money on his real estate.
No, I mean, and that's that's a thing that I'm hoping happens, right? Like,
but again, you've got to be in it for the longer term. You can't be like expecting your, to have a return great in 6 months. I mean, sure, if the if you can buy a house at the, the bottom of the housing market and then sell it when it's high, sure, you can get that one time, but.
Well, that's the hard thing is getting it one time. I'm closing on another flip because I'm really like, I'm adamant this year. I'm going to be hitting quite a few of them. So I'm closing Friday at 3:30. So we'll see how much I drink Friday. So, I always celebrate those victories, but I don't know, man. Like, so I took a different job. I'm very, very stressed in my job, right? The accountability. Tenants think that I'm a piece of crap because I don't do something within the first like 2 seconds, right? So here's what made me drink Friday. This is a truthful story of my life. We're already understaffed, which everybody is. Okay.
Mhm.
We're told, hey, we can't afford anybody else, stuff like that. My property manager, like the office side of it, we're getting texts from this, hey, what's going on with this person? What's going on with this person? You guys got to get this figured out. So I make a phone call. So she sends in a mass text, right, and says, hey, this is my 2 weeks notice. Like, the person that could actually hold me somewhat accountable and like, hey, we worked really good together.
Mhm.
Like, now I'm getting like, I have nothing. And the person that I also work with is dumber than a fucking box of rocks and can't like do anything. And just doesn't understand the real estate side of things, but does enough paperwork that it
Mhm.
kind of helps. Like, but just doesn't, they don't understand that placing the wrong tenant makes my life really, really hard, right? They're just like, oh, this person said they have money, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it, you're stupid.
Because at least with your rentals that you own, you have control over who lives there.
For the most part, right? I follow
for the most part, yes.
I follow the laws of things, right?
Yes, but
Um,
you run the credit checks, and if you just
correct.
see a red flag, you can say, "Whoa."
Correct. Right. But then now, mind you, I'm sitting here getting ready to bowl, and I had a work order come in for something else, and then I'm bowling, and this tenant text, hey, we had like an inch of snow, right, which was like really thick. My plowing goes out when there's 2 inches of snow. This tenant's like, hey, it's ridiculous over here. We need plowing, blah, blah, blah. So I text my plow guy. I'm like, hey, these, you went out and did this. Do you think, yeah, fuck it, I'll run over there and grab it. Plows out the driveway. Shitting not within seconds. He goes, hey man, just let you know, finish it up. Get a work order from her. That plow guy, maybe he needs to use a snow blower. There's stuff there. This is all gonna freeze over and it's so slippery. We need salt and blah, blah. And it's like if you give a mouse a fucking cookie, right? Like,
Yeah.
geez. And so then like sends another one. Oh, it's this. Like sends another one. Here it is. Like 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock. And like, I'm fucking losing my shit. And I haven't talked to this person because like I have nothing nice to say. Like, I went above and beyond, got something done for you, and you're still gonna bitch. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm still getting mad about it right now. Like, you're unappreciative, and I can't do it. And so like I talked to the owner, and I'm like, hey, her lease is up March. She's gone. Like, I'm not gonna deal with that. She had the same issue with a refrigerator. Hey, I need a refrigerator. I need it right now. Like, mind you, this is COVID. You know how hard it is to find a refrigerator right now?
How hard it is to find anything.
Windows are 14 weeks out, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I need it, and I need it right now, and I need it, blah, blah, blah. I get the wrong size put in. And she's like, no, I want this one. It's bigger and blah, blah. And I was like, it doesn't fit in your cabinet. You're getting a new fucking refrigerator. Like, it fit on one side, but not the other. I didn't measure 2 spots.
You can buy the fridge you want.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
just,
I've done that before in a rental. I've just been like, I'm buying it, and I'm going to basically say this is what I want to get reimbursed for.
oh, and
I mean, again, I didn't go expensive. I went bottom of the line because I knew I was moving out in 6 months.
sure. Well, and that's,
Well, see, if I'm buying it, I'm taking it with me.
right, which is fine too.
Hey,
Right?
Yeah.
I'm buying this fridge. I'm taking it with me.
Hey, thanks for taking care of that. But no, like, and so it was just the added amount of everything that's adding up, right? And then open work orders, and now I have no idea what I'm going to do with this person gone, because that's a big workload, right? And I already can't do my workload, right? Like, so I got fully stressed and took it out on some drinking.
Well, and that's kind of, it feeds into what we're talking about tonight, which is, your mental health. So, I went to a doctor today about my neuro issues with my brain.
Sure.
And it was a neuropsychiatrist, and basically, she asked a whole bunch of questions. And one of them was, how much do you drink? Well, right now I drink a couple, 3 beers a week.
Mhm.
She goes, is that typical? And Dawn goes, well, I mean, during the Trump years, he drank a lot. She goes, what's a lot? A lot. Dawn's like, he would get blackout drunk. She goes, how often? I'm like, I don't know, once a month. And she goes, yeah, that did happen. My mental health was in a bad spot. I'm empathetic, and you know, Cheeto McCock Nugget sucks as far as I'm concerned. And you know, it made me need some kind of release, which basically is what you went through on Friday.
Okay.
You had all that stress build up and you were ready to explode. You were either going to tear somebody in half or you were going to drink a lot.
Oh, and you know, it's funny because I drunk texted people and all that, and my one buddy who owns the property, he's like, all right, you getting that figured out? And I was like, oh man, did I call you? And he's like, no, you texted me. And I remember having a conversation in the bowling alley and people like, oh, how many F-bombs can you drop? And I was like, fuck, you don't talk. Like, here we go, right?
A lot more.
And if you read the
This is the fudge cake stout.
if you read the text, you know, it's just every other word, and it's exactly it. Like, I'm either going to throw somebody through a freaking wall, or
You want to drink?
yeah.
Oh, you like Imperials?
Oh, that's really good.
That is good.
Wow. See, it's got a better chocolate flavor.
Much better chocolate flavor than
Than
Hershey's.
right,
Hershey's.
right. Hershey's supposed to, man. Huh.
Hershey's needs to step up their game.
Yeah. Maybe don't use powder and use a liquid
Yeah.
chocolate next time.
Melt down the kisses. And
Mhm.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That should be easy enough.
You know, don't even put alcohol in it. Like, honestly, they should have just.
You know, they own Reese's too. They could just melt down a Reese's Buttercup, and we'd be a happy guy.
Oh,
that would be
right.
so.
No, you know, and
Hi to Vanessa, who's on
I
Podbean with us.
Hi,
thanks,
Vanessa.
Hey, thanks for the hearts and the loves, guys. We appreciate it. But you know, I don't know. I'm, you know, so dealing with that stress and then trying to figure out what I want to do with my business, right? Doesn't really add up. And you know, the city got on me for a couch that my tenant put along the side of the yard or whatever. And it's like I'm being held responsible for something that my tenant did. Well, you're the landlord, and so you own the land. And it's like, okay, but you don't let me fucking own the land when it comes to kicking my tenants out or doing whatever, right? Like, no, I just have to eat the goddamn cost.
It's convenient
Yeah.
to them.
Oh, you know, it blows my mind how shitty it is to be a landlord, right?
Well, and I mean that feeds into everything, you know, money wise and mental health wise. So I know that when I'm stressed with money, my mental health is awful.
Mhm.
I'm sitting there trying to figure out, okay, do I need to make more money? Do I need to make cuts here? What can I do to better this situation? And until I have some kind of plan, I'm either going to be depressed or anxious or angry, or I'm going to lash out at people. I mean, those things are going to happen because everything's spinning
Mhm.
and nothing is where it needs to be. And I noticed that with a lot of people. You know, I'll do financial consults with people. I did one with Star Wars Chris, who works for us here. And he kept putting me off. And when we finally sat down and talked about it, he goes, wow, this wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. And actually, I kind of feel a little bit better. Yeah, because now you have a plan. You're not sitting there thinking about the unknown anymore. You don't have to sit there and say, man, my money sucks and that makes my life suck. And I just, want to go hang myself.
Mhm.
And that's a common theme. I mean,
Well, and when you put out something like that, right? So everybody, I would say more of a Republican answer, right? Which is the outspoken people usually. What's the answer, right? Go get a better paying job.
Mhm.
That's not always the fucking answer, right? Like,
most of the time it's not.
and you have to realize that, okay, so I'm a psycho, right? Like, I have no problem putting in 90 hours a week, like getting paid, money. In the end, I care about what the final number is, right?
Right.
It doesn't matter what I'm making. All I care about is that. And, there's people who literally can't mentally do more than, 40, 45 hours a week, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Well, and Vanessa has a comment here, and basically that's what she was going through before she sat down and talked to me.
right.
And we stuck her on a plan. you're out of control. You feel desperate and miserable and a failure, and you just don't know what to do because, again, you don't have those life skills to pull on to say, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I need to do. I mean, when I sat down and talked to Vanessa, I'm like, well, let's get rid of the smaller bills.
Yeah.
And then you and I sat down with her a couple of months later, and she's like, yeah, that just doesn't work for me. I need to get rid of the stuff that, is charging me more interest. And you're like, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I do. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I would do too. But most people aren't us.
Right. Most people. Right. And that's, you gotta find it. And, I think people learn both ways, right? Like there's hands-on learners, and then there's people that can learn from a book. My wife could never learn hands-on, right? Like she needs to learn from a book. Where if I read something, fuck, you think I'm gonna know that, right? Like it's just not gonna happen. So, accounting, when it comes to like accounting, actually, so I took an accounting class, and the teacher's like, all right, read your book and then like fill out the stuff. And so it's, hey, Miss Susie has $5 gifted to her, right? Is that, does that go in the expense category? And I'm like, fuck. But now the teacher's like, all right, so you have money that goes in and like actually writes on the board. And I'm like, nailed it. I got this. Hold on. Like I can learn this, but I can't read and learn. That's horrible.
And there are things that I can read and learn, and there are things I just let me get in and dig in.
Right.
Like, the class I'm currently taking, I'll do a discussion post, and he's like, you need to use something from the readings. That's great. I've never read anything you've given me. So let me just open that and read a paragraph, and I'll crowbar in something from that paragraph into the stupid post.
Yep.
Again, regurgitating information to me isn't learning.
No. Right.
So, I mean, when we're talking, there's resources out there. I mean, again, talking to the recovery pod, it was the recovery pod, right?
Yeah.
Talking to them, he's like, yeah, we deal with everything, every kind of recovery. And that's what's great, is because there are so many things that are out there that you can struggle with, whether it be alcoholism or narcotics or gambling, sex addiction, money issues, overeating. I mean, there's so many things, and we don't find enough resources out there to truly help those. And I was basically telling the guy, I assume it's a guy, that we started the podcast because he asked me how many listeners and stuff we had and do we advertise, and my thing was, we don't really advertise. I mean, we share stuff on social media, that's our advertisement. Right. Or we make stickers or bottle openers, and that's our advertisement.
Or just when you're out doing things, you do word of mouth.
Correct.
We wear our shirts quite a bit.
So I mean,
mine's tough because it constantly covers it.
Yeah. So yeah, we kind of do, but at the same time, we really don't do that. And I told him, I said, listen, Nick and I couldn't get together during the pandemic. We couldn't talk money. And our big thing was bouncing ideas off of each other. I remember sitting at your house and going, hey, there's a peer-to-peer lending thing called Prosper. And you're like, what's that? And I'm like, yeah, you basically pick what loans you want to give money to. And you and I hopped on it that day and started looking into it.
Yep.
And I've been investing with Prosper since I think 2018, and it returned like 28%.
That's great.
Now, I don't have a lot of money into it. I might have put in $75, $100, but I, made way more.
Yeah. If you're putting in $75 and making 95, that's a good percentage.
So, the Super Bowl, I get a text from David. Hey, they're giving away a free $15.
Coinbase.
Yep. And so, sober me is like, I'm downloading this app. So I downloaded the app, and then 3 minutes later, I'm like, 1505.
What's it at right now, Nick?
I'm looking it up right now.
And again, I don't like Coinbase because they charge you to trade crypto, and I don't want to pay to trade it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they do, because I think that's one of the ones I looked into. But if they're going to give me a free $15 of crypto, I'll take it.
Right.
And it's not just, it's Bitcoin, so it's the number one crypto.
I got to figure out your asset. Wow. So I'm at 1605.
So you've already made $1.05.
$1.06.
There you
It
go.
went up. Say, yeah. Wow. All right. This might be a great day trader. Say, that kind of returns is pretty decent.
Yeah, because Dawn's like, did you watch that commercial? I'm like, no. And so she sent it to me, and I'm like, all right, let me do this. So I did it. She did it. You did it.
Yeah.
I sent it to Caitlin. I don't know if she did it.
$15.
It's free.
But can you cash it out for cash?
Yeah. You just have to sell it.
Oh, okay. Find somebody to buy it.
No, you just sell it. You
Oh,
put
okay.
in, it's just like trading a stock. You put in a sale order of what you want.
Huh. Does it have open and closed hours? We're gonna find all this out.
They run during normal hours, but they also do trade after hours.
Okay. Sure. I'm gonna sell it right now and make my $1.
There you go. Not only $1, you make 15
Yeah.
plus your $1.
There you go. I'll just let it sit there forever and hope that my 15 turns into millions.
That's what I do. I just let it sit, buy and hold.
Now that I have another, but the problem is having another one. Like I'm gonna start investing in it.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
Mhm.
Like Aaron Rodgers, even though he's a douchebag, sent me that Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It just sits there. I don't care.
Well, I gotta add to it to see how big it can get.
Nope.
Yep, that's
No interest.
my betterment's going up too. So
And speaking of mental health, that's one of those things where when people get really destitute over money and they have a family,
Mhm,
they decide, all right, this just ain't worth it anymore. I'm out.
mhm.
And that's something we don't want to see because you can always come back. Yeah, there are certain money situations you can't come back from. Medical would be one of them.
Mhm.
A lot of times you can't come back from that.
I mean, right? Like there's ways to play the system though.
Oh, of course.
Right? Like, I mean, granted, if you get wealthy enough, they'll do the suing. But like, I mean, if you're personally in that much debt, you can sign off everything to other people, and
Oh, absolutely.
it could all grow that way. But I do get what you're saying, right? Yes, there's some $1 million things that you cannot get out of.
Yeah, student loans.
Mhm.
You're basically screwed. We're going to talk about some of that stuff today too. Well,
That's got to be tough, like especially mental health wise. Like you bust your ass through college, right? Which is apparently tough. Say I don't know for a little bit. You're working. You're telling yourself you're promised a really good job, and then you get out and you're not making much, and you can't pay your damn bills, and now for the rest of your life, like what you thought was going to take you 4 to 6 years is now taking you 55 years, right?
Mhm.
Like that's tough, and you can't get the house you want. You can't do the things that you want because of it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the big things, especially with the student loans. They made it so difficult to file bankruptcy on that
Oh,
you enter into those deals, and the student loans aren't like they were when I was graduating high school or when Mike graduated high school. They're way different now.
that's what I'm hearing. Like you don't really even have to sign up for it. It just gives it to you.
Yeah, my daughter is automatically given student loans because she files for FAFSA.
Which so like when I filed, I had to go sign a loan document.
Yeah, you don't do that anymore.
Right.
They just give it to you.
Yeah, like
And you have to jump through hoops to deny it.
really.
Yes,
See, and that's,
because she does it all the time.
yeah, that's insane. Like they just assume everybody's taking on that loan. I mean,
So for me, when my kids are getting ready for college, it's basically gonna be smarter for me to do like a HELOC or a refinance of my house
Yeah,
and
probably.
pay for their college.
and hope they pay you back. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would probably be the smartest way.
let's say start saving now.
Well, I mean, again, if you don't know what you're signing up for, you shouldn't be doing it. But
No.
they're hitting 18, 19-year-old kids with this. And though, again, you look at it and you're like, okay, well, I spent 5 years in school and I spent $35,000 a year on school. So, let's just go with round numbers. Let's go with 25,000. So I have 125,000 in debt, but it's not really 125,000 because when I went to school originally, they didn't charge interest until 6 months after you graduated. They started charging interest.
And that's how mine works. No, I didn't have to make a payment. My interest started. I didn't have to make a payment.
You didn't have to make a payment, but your interest didn't
Yeah.
start either.
Yeah.
Now interest starts day one.
That's crazy.
So by the time you graduate, your 125,000 is probably closer to 200,000.
or more.
But,
or more.
and you know what I find really weird is, back when I was in high school and
Mhm.
you guys were the same way, my professors were like, hey, when you go to college, they're going to have people handing out Frisbees or CDs or, whatever, if you sign up for a credit card.
Correct.
Yeah.
And kids don't, hey, we'll give you a free pizza if you do it. And they made that predatory and illegal.
Yes.
But yet they're going to allow people, what pisses me off is the fact that you could take a student loan and go buy a fucking college shirt.
Yeah, you don't have to spend it on school.
Yeah, you can buy a pencil, you can buy like a laptop.
I dated a girl once
Yeah.
that would get her student loan money and go buy groceries.
Yeah. See, no, that's just, I don't know. That's not how this should work. It's not how any of this works. But, I don't see why they don't see that this is predatory, right? Like,
No, the difference is they see that it's predatory. They don't care because that keeps them rich.
Yep.
so difference is care. Yes.
Again, we're sitting here and it's February 15th.
Yep.
2022.
Yep.
And trending today on Twitter.
Yep.
George Carlin.
Yes. Yeah. You sent that. Yeah.
I did because again, everything Carlin ever said was pointed towards Big Brother and conservatives and bullshit.
Yep.
One of my favorite comments. The American dream, you have to be asleep to believe in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
They only care about business and businessmen.
Yep.
I liked the TikTok that you shared, which was the guy basically going, Republicans call people sheep, yet they're basically a bunch of sheep following one shepherd,
Yes.
Donald Trump,
Yes. It's
and
absolutely
doing
accurate.
everything he tells them that
Yes.
they should do.
Whereas at least other people, independents, liberals, are sitting there going, yeah, that's bullshit. Again, I voted for Biden. Do I love Biden? No, I don't love him. He seems like a really nice person.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a great leader? I don't fucking know.
Probably not, but I mean, the difference, he cares about
He
people.
cares about people. And at the end of the day, don't you need that in a leader?
Yes.
No.
You say no. I say yes.
There's a difference between caring and, over caring.
Okay, but you have to care as a leader. You don't have to over care, but you have to care.
You have to care in some way.
So again, we coached together.
Mhm.
You could probably whip off 4 or 5 kids that you couldn't stand,
Yeah, of course.
but you could whip off 8 or 9 that you would have handed them $50 if they needed it
Of course. But even,
because you cared.
even the kids that I couldn't stand doesn't mean I wouldn't go above and beyond for them, right?
We did go above and beyond for them. We just wouldn't go beyond that.
Right. Granted, I will tell your mom that, you're the problem.
And did.
Fact.
But those other kids, how many times do we run out and buy lunch or dinner or
Right. Here's snacks before the game.
Yeah, drives home.
Especially where you guys coach.
Yes.
I mean, these were not, these
They had nothing.
lower income families. So yeah, I mean, you guys bringing them snacks might have been the last thing they ate that day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I look at Priscilla all the time, and you weren't there by the time she was a senior.
Yeah.
But senior night was the only time I ever saw her mom. Her mom showed up 5 minutes before she had to walk out onto the field with Priscilla, and when she was done, she went right home. And I sat there going, what in the fuck?
I mean, this is almost similar, but I mean, different in the fact that we're getting ready for summer camp for scouts.
Yes.
There are limited spaces at the camps, in general anyway, but a little bit more with COVID restrictions and stuff. And I mean, with it being outdoors, you can lighten certain things up. Well, to give more room for kids, we try to limit parents. Well, one kid, both of his parents, were the first people to sign up. And it's this is a family. Again, you see them when they drop their kid off. You see them when they pick their kid up. You see them when we have courts of honor. You don't see them any other time.
Yeah.
But they're thinking that they can take 2 spots of summer camp instead of giving it to a parent who actually would help.
Yes. And is there.
And I was
And
the last person to sign of the 10 they were allowing as just an initial sign up. And I'm probably the one who's going to lead it again this year.
Of course.
Yeah.
I sat there coaching, and Marv and I would say over and over again, you can guarantee there will be two parents in the stand. It'll be my wife and his wife.
Yep.
Because we're in the dugout. And that was the only guarantee we ever had. Now, I coached some great kids. Chloe's mom was always there.
Yep.
Ashley's dad was always there. Ariana's mom was always there. One of Cassie's parents was there.
Yeah.
You know, one of the kids I hated, her mom was always there. She fucking hated me. I'm not going to mention
for ways to get you fired.
Oh, absolutely. She wanted me fucking gone. You know, but when you look at it, you know, I remember Marv telling me before I got the job, they had a game up in Kent City, and he was the only parent that went.
Wow.
And one of the kids was hurt and needed to go to the hospital. So Marv went with the kid because they had nobody.
Well, that's completely different, right? Like, you know, when I coached over at Potter's house, and you know, I had, and it was, to me, it was like a financial thing.
Yeah.
So the one, her dad was very, very well known in the government system. Was there, mom was there, right? I mean, we're talking, I don't know.
Yeah, but was it because they cared about their kid, or was it because it was a photo opportunity?
No, not at all. Like, absolutely just about their kid. Like, they weren't photo, like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't know who they were, but in what they do.
Yeah.
You knew who they were.
Only because they told me, right?
Correct.
Like, this is what I do. This is who I do it for. That's all I can say. Oh, shit.
Well, the hard part, though, sometimes, like, especially, like I said, where you coached the lower income, it may not be that the parents, I mean, and some didn't.
Yeah.
But some of it might be the fact that they're working.
Yes,
they've
absolutely.
got other kids they have to stay home and take care of.
But that was it. Like, I had one, right? Like, one that would show up, and then, you know, practice is done at 5. Here it is, 7:30. Hey, my mom's finally on the way. Cool. Hey, ma'am, just to let you know, like, practice was done here. You were supposed to pick your kid up. Oh, yeah, sorry, I did this or whatever. My bad, won't happen. Okay. Hey, man, does your mom work? No? Like, right? Hey, why don't you give her a call and tell her, you know, I'll drop you off or whatever, right? Because I'm not going to wait around for 2.5 hours. So.
I dropped off so many kids over the years, and there were certain kids that I would not be alone in the car with. I absolutely flat out refused.
Yep.
So if I got to take that kid home, usually I'd have a captain come to me and say, "Hey, coach, you want me to ride with you?" Yes, I do. Thank you.
Let's say, yep. So y'all sit way in the back. But I mean, that's sad, right?
Like, and it's hard too in this day and age, because I mean, there does have to be a point where not only do you need to make sure, you know, the youth is protected from any potential thing, but you need the protection yourself of a youth that might just be like, he touched me in a weird way.
Yep. Well, you get it way too often, but you know, and that's another, right? Mental health right there. Like the fact that us as guys have to constantly think about what is a possibility that we got ourselves into a situation, right?
Where I'm at now, there are girls I've hugged.
Yeah.
But it's rare because they don't need that. You know, they have both parents at every game, and their parents are very involved and they care about them. And I don't need to be that support system. Where I was before, I hugged everybody all the time because they needed it. They needed some kind of validation that somebody gave a shit. And that was the thing that always pissed me off. I mean, you know, I'm coaching these girls and they're just great kids, and people just didn't give a shit about them, and it would irritate the hell out of me. And even from ones that had like great parents, Deja's a great example. Her mom's fantastic, but even now, I mean, I'll see posts from her and she's like, yeah, people think I'm a shitty mom. She's phenomenal. She cares about her son so much, and she works her ass off, and she does all these things, but she doesn't have what other people might have. She has to work for everything she has. She can't do as much with him as she wants to do because she has to work.
Well, it's, it's the thing that people don't see. And you got people like us that are, hey, I know it's tough, but make sure you invest so that way you don't have to do it. And I can't, and blah, blah. Hey, look, we get your stress.
It is part of it, though, because she wants to provide a little more for her kids. Because maybe if she didn't work as much as she did, they wouldn't even be living in that area. They'd be living in a completely worse area.
Yes. There's a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I can honestly say my daughter, until she hit a certain age, didn't grow up with a lot because I couldn't provide what I wanted to.
Sure.
But she'll never say she missed out on anything because I spent all the time I could with her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I try to spend as much time with my kid, that as much as I do,
Yeah.
right? I miss, very little things. And my sister-in-law, likes to think that it's funny to say that my kid is spoiled. Like I look at it and go, no, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
just because I give her things doesn't mean you don't have any idea what I make her earn and how her life lessons come through.
Mhm.
Like, so my kid will lose her shit over a 25-cent necklace.
Oh,
Right?
yes, absolutely.
Just absolutely lose her shit. And I'm like, look, here's what it is. I can buy 12 of them online on Amazon for $1. $1. They're going to be here in 2 days, right? Stop. Like, understand that this is literally fixable by money,
Mhm.
right? This is nothing to be that upset about. You have $1. And if not, guess what? You can go earn $1, and this is how you're going to go do it. And guess what? Now that you've thrown the sissy fit, you're going to go earn that $1, and I'm just going to buy these, and you don't have a choice, right?
Right.
Did the same thing. She gave away a bead, right, out of a necklace kit or whatever, and the whole kit was $15. And then after she did it, she regretted it, and just lost my shit, right? I'm like, look, this is again just money. Like, oh, you spoil her. What lesson do you want me to teach my kid that, like, if you work your ass off, that you can buy something after you? Your financial regrets should never be your biggest regret, right? Like, you should understand, hey, this here is very fixable with money. Losing that friendship with the person, that's not fixable. You need to fix that.
Right.
And guess what? If you give it, you can go get it. Like, your regret. And so, like, oh, hey, she's spoiled. I'm hoping that you see that she's spoiled in that aspect, right? Because again, like, money shouldn't be the topic of a 6-year-old's fucking mind, right? Like, how can I treat somebody better? How can I act like this? How can I have 2 things? Hey, Dad, can I do this? Right? Like, hey, can I give this away?
One of the smartest things I ever heard coaching was I'm at a coaching clinic one time, and a coach that I couldn't stand said this. He goes, yeah, you watch all these parents are spending $20,000 on travel every year, and
Easily.
And they think it's going to get a Division I ride. Hutch is going to call them up and say, I got to have you my starting shortstop at Michigan.
Yeah.
Nobody's calling for these kids. They're really lucky they might get to play at a community college, maybe a little bit higher. The majority of them aren't going to do shit. So you better cherish all those memories you're making on these $20,000 teams every year, because that's what you're going to be left with.
Yep.
And I went, wow, that's a pretty powerful statement. Because again, I've coached a lot of great ball players.
Dave Ramsey says that.
Does he?
Actually, yeah.
Well, fuck him. But I've coached a lot of really great ball players, and many of them did play in college.
Yep.
But they sacrificed a lot to do it. They either sacrificed money, or they went to a school that didn't have a program that they wanted and wasted time and more money, or they gave up an absolute social life, because if you're playing in college, they own you.
People don't realize that.
No,
I mean,
you're a student athlete. But they're not, it's not like high school where you're a student first.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. They own you. You do everything they say because they're giving you money.
Oh, and like, you get to choose your schedule around. So like we all know I went to school with a bowling scholarship,
Yes.
right? Like, hey, you will be here for lunch during this time. You will then come back for practice during these times. Schedule your classes around that.
Yes,
right?
you have study tables at this time. Study tables not optional. Study tables mandatory.
Oh, hey, guess what? We're not practicing our actual physical bowling. Guess what? You're running the fucking laps. You're doing this. And it's like, whoa, I did none of this in high school. Like, at high school, I was kicked out of a bowling alley for leagues at 6 o'clock. In college, you're a fucking adult, right? Like, this is literally, like, people don't understand it. Like, if you got out at 3 o'clock, you're leaving a bowling alley at 9:30, right? Like, this is how it's meant to be, right?
Well, and again, that falls into, you're an adult at 18, but what the hell do you know? You don't know anything.
No idea, right? I mean, granted, they fed me.
Yeah, so, that's great.
Well, only went on away trips, right? So, but
I remember Jessica saying when she bowled at Davenport, she's like, hey, Nike sponsors, I want Nike everything. They better buy me Nike underwear.
No. They'll give you
Maybe if you're at the University of Oregon, but
they'll give you a jersey, right? They'll give you we got discounts on balls and shoes and stuff, but
Oh, absolutely.
it wasn't like given. You know, Davenport gave out T-shirts like crazy, but again, it wasn't like they gave out big guy stuff,
Right.
So, you know, when I first signed, and they'll entice you like crazy, right? I mean, being a poor kid,
Yeah.
when I first signed, hey, what size shirt you wear? All right, you want black, white, red, all three? Yeah, cool, great. Here you go,
Yeah.
kid. Oh, you need pencils? What else you need paper to write on? You have a book bag to bring here? Oh man, tell you what, here, have a Davenport book bag,
Yeah.
right? Oh man, you know, we want you to be Davenport. Here, oh, you need bowling bags? Here's Davenport. I still use my Davenport bowling bags, right? Like, it's just they will entice you like
Yes.
crazy, but you know, you will work for it, and people don't get it. Like,
No, it's a job. It really is.
you know, they think that these high school or college football kids, no, like you're literally in the gym, and then you wake up and go to class, and then you know, I don't know how these kids have time for homework,
Most of them don't.
right? And they're still passing their class.
Well, one way or another.
That's a fact.
So,
it better be real good.
We've hit on a whole bunch of financial and mental health stuff.
Yeah.
Are you ready to kind of transition into some current stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I've saved a whole bunch of stuff I found recently.
Currently, we have Bucks and Brews beer openers
We
with our
do.
logo on them.
And you know how much I love that.
Dude, these are great.
I did good, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually put this up on the Twitch screen so people can read along with us. Oops. Why did that go away? Here we go. It doesn't like me today, Nick.
Just hold it over there.
I don't want to just hold it.
Well, you're only reading one thing.
There we go.
this is interesting looking at this because I can almost tell now what's underneath that.
What?
Aluminum shorters won't stop us from getting fresh beer into your hands. This is the Perrin Fudge.
Yes.
We've repurposed printed cans to continue using the freshest beer. Now I'm seeing the orange, and I'm really believing it is a two-hearted.
I could
underneath
see
here.
that. I could definitely see that. So I saved a bunch of tweets.
Sure.
So let's read some of them. So this guy borrowed $20,000 for college. After 10 years, payments totaling $80,000, his outstanding balance, or his or hers, was $160,000. And the student loan servicer said I had to give him free back massages for the next 30 years. This is the ideal system to me. Followed it up with, I know, it's my fault for wanting to get an education and not making precisely the correct financial decisions at the ripe old age of 18. I guess I should just die now. Which was followed up with, a guy who went to school when a semester cost 87 cents and a pack of Bazooka Joe bubblegum told me he paid his own way and I should too. So now I feel like the asshole.
Yeah, but that you just look at those numbers. He borrowed $20,000.
Mhm.
He has already paid 4 times that,
Mhm.
and he still owes 8 times that.
Yes.
That is why this system is insane. He
Predatory.
is basically, he is basically, and the 160 is based on right now.
Yes.
So it's not even necessarily any interest that might still go over the next how many ever years it's going to take him to do that.
Well, considering it started at 80 and it's doubled.
I mean, we're talking, he could end up by the time he pays it all off 20 to 25 times what he borrowed.
Here's the
he's paying
question.
back.
Will he pay it off?
No, he never will.
No, he'll die.
Which is, I'm sure, what his comment was. I may as well die now.
Correct.
I mean, there's ways to pay it off, but yeah.
Well, there are ways to pay it off, but again, it boils down to the fact that they're giving these loans to people who don't really understand finance.
Or
And
what
I
the
said,
loan is.
If that's what if he only borrowed 20, how easy would that have been for him to
So
find, even if it wasn't his parents willing to do it, a close family friend or something like that, who could have, borrowed it just from a bank, saying, I want a $20,000 loan for this, and given him that 20,000 at a whole lot less interest rate.
people always say they don't have it, but I think the honest answer to that is people are too afraid to ask.
Yeah.
But so now here, ready? How long do you think this has been a problem?
Honestly,
I'm sure it's
the
been,
last 25 years.
25 years. How long do you think this has been a problem?
Probably about the same.
25 years.
I
So
did.
you think that
I did not take out student loans. My
Sure.
mom basically had a job where she maybe made $20,000-$30,000 a year, and it was a part-time job. She was teaching preschool with a friend of hers, and she basically put the money she made to pay for my college, whatever my scholarships and what I would work to make. And when I was going to college, Dave can attest to this. He knew me at that point. I was working Wendy's. I was working Park Hannafin. I was working 2 jobs. I was working 2 jobs pretty much full time.
Sure.
To make a dent into my tuition.
You did the same thing at school though, because you were working in
I
the
was
cafeteria.
working in the cafeteria. So even when I was going to school, I mean, I was only working like 20 hours a week.
Still, I mean, but now, so
And honestly, that was though more for spending money during the course of the,
of course,
year.
yeah. I mean, everybody needs beer money. I'm all
Beer
about it,
money,
right?
phone bill, because of course at that point you had to have a phone in your college dorm,
Right,
and
right.
if you made a phone call, you had to pay for it. I could cheat sometimes, and like if I wanted to call a friend or my parents, I could say,
call collect.
"Call me."
Yep.
But right, so the person was 18 years old. You guys say 25. They're 43 now.
Mhm.
Okay, and you don't think that? I mean, so that gives you 7 years.
You're saying if they were 18, 25 years ago,
Yep.
we don't know their age.
Well, I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, so now we're saying, okay, so there's 7 years of people that weren't born, and then there's 18 years of people that were born up till 18. And then you get to 43 years old. You following me?
Yep.
Right. So now you're telling me that from 43 all the way down, and the amount of times that we talk about this and how long this has actually been going on, you mean to tell me that 18-year-olds still don't know what the hell they're signing up for?
Well, I think they
25
are, because
years
I
of
think
this
in a lot of
education.
cases, the families that are having the kids take out student loans similarly don't know what they're doing financially.
Yes, I absolutely believe they have no idea.
Because
25 years, and what's the education?
David
problem?
knows what he's doing, and he does not let his daughter get student loans.
Sure.
She
You-
does not know what she's doing. She would have denied none of them.
Correct.
You will not
Fully
let
agree.
Emerson get student loans if she goes to college.
Bullshit.
Well, she's not
would-
getting student loans.
You-
Bullshit.
Oh no, you will figure out a
You can say that right now.
She'll
She's
get,
6.
she'll get daddy student loans.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
and that's what I'm saying. She'll get daddy student loans. Like I got mommy student
I
loans.
think she won't
Right.
pay me back. I promise you this.
And like I said,
And that 80%.
I paid my mom more than what they
right.
charged a little bit of interest, about the same you'd get from a savings account.
Sure. 3%, 3%.
2-3%. Yeah. I mean,
completely
it's,
fair. Holy shit, that's a fair trade.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
fair.
yeah,
But how many people get that
We
option?
all talk about the betterment, right? Like that's what it's for. My kid, college, my kid.
yeah. And I'm doing the
But-
same thing. I got money going into my kid's betterment, but I also know, and I mean,
It's gonna cost
if they
more.
go to community college or if they choose a trade school,
Yep.
what will be in their betterment by the time they graduate may cover that.
Yep. And so I'm just saying, like, is the fact that we keep saying that people don't know what they're signing up for. Okay, so where do we need to start teaching this? And again, no high school is gonna.
And again, I think it boils
stand
down
up
to
for
yet
college.
possibly another Twitter that you shared, which is somebody basically saying, get rid of Algebra 2 and teach basic finance.
So we have a comment here. And the comments from Vanessa: parents don't talk to kids about finances because they are typically financially stretched and they don't teach it in school. And I agree with that to some extent, but not necessarily they're financially stretched. They don't understand it. And obviously Vanessa can type back to us here, but I would have to assume that, your son's 10, 11 years old, I believe. You're going to teach him these financial habits that you've now learned, I would assume, because you've learned them and this is now in your wheelhouse.
I would agree, right? So like my mom made with Mike's mom 30,000, probably my dad, I don't even know, probably 20, 30,000, right? Like very small incomes. So I think a lot of it might have been, and I look at my in-laws side, like my father-in-law just was horrible with money. My mother-in-law just didn't make anything. So like, I think on their side, right, they were afraid to show how much they didn't make, right? On my mom's side, I really do think it comes down to an education, because when I was, 12 years old, I started paying all my mom's bills to make sure that things stayed on, because like, I remember growing up, like, hey, we have a gas notice or a water notice. Oh, I'll get down there. hey, we need this, like it's due today. And like I'd be the one to go, hey, all right, let's go to the bank, get out cash. My mom never had a debit card. She finally got a debit card probably now 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Everything was cash. So if she had no cash on a Sunday, we didn't have money, right? Like, hey, I want to go do this.
That sounds like how Mikey pays for things.
Which, you know, it was great. It taught me really like not to spend if you don't have, right? Like, you know how many Sundays it'd be like, hey, we want to go do stuff, but we didn't. And it saved on not buying things, right?
So
yeah, Dan Price and I are not getting along on some of his things, which
I'm
love
sure
it.
you're not, but Vanessa replied again. So she said, yes, she is more educated and his dad is much better with money than what she was. When Cheyenne was young, I was in a much different place. She learned how to survive being broke. And I mean, that's a lot of people nowadays. So Nick, what are you arguing with Dan about?
I don't know. We'll read some of his bullshit that's coming up. But you know, Dan Price, number one, he's mad that Domino's spent $10 million.
I have that one on here.
Is it $50 million?
We'll get to that. Don't do it now. We'll get to that.
Dan Price also had another one. I don't know. He's giving his opinions, and like I'd like, and some of it, like I want to gear right back towards him and say, look, you did something to give what's living wage, but like now like the amount that he's pissing me off, I want to look at what average housing in his business neighborhood and see if it's actually like one income is doing. Oh, the other company should be doing this. So
no,
like,
I mean, what you said, he pays a minimum what, $75,000 a year,
70,000,
right?
70,000.
But like, you know,
if everyone he works with is in like the Tacoma, Seattle area, probably like living lower middle class here.
Right? Like, so you know, just don't sit here and put yourself up there.
But I mean, even lower middle class, if it should be somewhat a living wage.
Yes.
Sure, middle class is living wage.
Yeah.
Lower class, I don't know. I mean,
so let's talk about this one right here. So Dan tweeted out, General Mills just paid $300 million dividend to investors, bought back $150 million in stock to enrich executives and investors, and it pays the CEO $16 million. It makes a $2.1 billion a year profit, and it's raising its prices on cereals 20% and blaming inflation.
sure.
So this one I like because it brings in the fact of inflation. So everybody's freaking out about inflation. Mind you, inflation's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Okay. Inflation is market correction.
Yeah.
Okay.
If inflation were actually coupled with like cost of living increases and stuff like that, it would be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, you said it's market correction. So jobs and stuff should be market corrected as well.
Correct.
And right along, if certain things go well, there's also, I mean, you don't see deflation a lot, but it'll happen.
Yes.
Well, I mean, and I think that market correction, I don't know anybody do you know anybody right now that makes less than $10 an hour?
Well, considering minimum wage here is $9.65, no.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. I seen $7.25. So, but okay.
It just went up the first of the year.
But that's federal.
But do we know anybody that makes less than 13?
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, I feel
I know
like
people who'd make less than that.
Yeah.
But you're looking at, I mean, it went from 7.25, so 9. So that's $2 an hour. That's great freaking money. $2 an hour pay raise.
Yeah, that's great money when you're making $15, $18, $20, $30 an hour.
Again, it's a start.
I would love a $2 an hour pay raise because I know I ain't getting that.
Right.
I would love a $2 an hour pay raise
Right,
too.
so,
And I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
but
it's a much smaller percentage of my hourly, but
Mhm.
you know, again, when your hourly is $7.25 and you go for $9.25, yeah, it makes you a lot more money, but it still doesn't get you anywhere near what it costs to actually be able to live a life where you're not needing government assistance.
Oh, we'll get into that another time, probably off air. But what I will ask you guys, I mean, I stopped eating healthy again. I got to get back on it. But I promise you, I swear to God, I have not eaten less McChickens because they're $1.50 than I did when they were $1. Like I'm eating the same amount. So like,
I don't eat big chickens. I don't eat filet of fish.
nobody's
Mike.
filet of fish.
Question.
The burger.
If I ate McChickens and they went from $1 to $1.50,
You'd
am I
stop
eating?
eating them. No,
You're
that's not-
goddamn right. I'd stop eating.
Okay.
fuckers.
Okay. I drove him to the district game
District game, yes.
for
Softball.
Yeah, for Coopersville.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't win, but he wanted to stop at McDonald's on the drive home so he could get himself a drink because he was really thirsty. He wanted tea.
$1 for
Yeah.
No, this was the thing. He wanted the $1.
I wanted the
They
dollar.
do not give the tea, at least at that McDonald's in, where was that?
It was
in the
Muskegon.
Muskegon area.
So you told him
As the $1. He basically said, nope, I don't want it. It would have only been probably $1.35 to get the tea.
Yeah, I didn't get the fucking tea. I said, fuck it, I don't want the tea.
And that's fine, right? Like you're
The funny part is I would
you're
have
doing the
probably
tips.
bought the tea for him.
No, I see, and
It's the
that's
principle.
beyond me.
Yeah.
If it's more than I think it should be, I'm not doing. Fuck you, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
I have no problem throwing $100 away on something somebody else might think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm not spending an extra 15-20 cents on something that isn't fucking worth it.
I don't often eat breakfast, but like sometimes I'll grab Wendy's. Right now I'm grabbing Wendy's maybe once a week, but I also look at it. I'm like, if I order a breakfast sandwich, I get a free, and it's any free
You get a-
drink.
Yes.
that's
yes.
a fact.
And I mean, yeah, I'm not doing Frosty Cheetos. I mean, I'm doing Freestyle Coke, and I'm doing usually a medium because their medium
Their
is
medium's
basically what the
A biggie
biggie
was, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Their medium is what a biggie was when we worked there.
They did $1 sandwiches, like sausage.
Yeah, and like I said, when I do that, I'm like, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let me get 2. I don't need the bun because I was eating healthy. And they put it on lettuce for me. And I was like, y'all rock, man. Like
Well, that's the hard part sometimes about eating healthy.
Yeah.
No,
And sometimes it honestly costs more. I mean, unless you're willing to just do like
to
really
go out to
cheap.
eat. To
No,
go out to eat.
even at a store, like unless you're fine with like cheap iceberg lettuce and stuff like that. But if you want
Sorry, mom.
some variety of like, want to do spinach or kale or something like that, that stuff is more expensive
Sure.
because they can charge more for it because
Yes.
everybody's on a health kick.
A 3-pack of romaine lettuce will cost you,
Yeah.
$5 versus
A head of
a
ice.
head of iceberg,
Yeah.
which is
Like $1.
So
$1.50 nowadays.
Okay.
not to
but-
divert us back, but I'm
No,
going to
let's do
divert
it.
us back. So first off, Vanessa makes $12 an hour. So now you know somebody.
As a base rate, though, right?
Yeah, she gets incentive pay, but that doesn't mean she's always going to get it.
Who gives a fuck? Like that doesn't make no.
Okay.
That's like
She makes $12 an hour.
that's like being a salesman and expecting that you're only going to accept $12 an hour.
I get it, but
But-
she makes $12 an hour.
No.
But even if you're a salesperson and you're only making $12 an hour, if you had, I'm sorry, probably during COVID, you weren't making a lot of sales.
Right.
I mean,
And so you're only
Become
making
better-
$12 an hour.
become better at your trade. I mean, okay.
Yeah, but if
You,
you don't
can
have,
say that,
it's-
but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Yeah.
that's
if
fact.
there are not options out there to make the sales, you cannot make a sale. It's like all these restaurant workers, maybe
Yes.
not the kitchen staff, but the wait staff,
I would- I would-
bartenders who
which is-
make,
which is why they didn't go back. Right?
$3.50 an hour,
Because-
$3.25 an
yeah.
hour.
yeah, because there was nobody there to pay them tips. Like, I'm good friends with Logan at the beer exchange.
Yep.
I'm becoming, kind of good friends with Jade, who's another regular bartender there. And they've said, they're when it's busy, they're making a good amount of money. When it's dead, like Jade was telling me when she was one of the bartenders in the basement Friday night, she worked the night before. Her and Logan switch every Thursday. She said there was barely anybody there. She said it was not worth her time to be there when
Yes.
she was there. Because when she's there, and then I don't know how Saturday turned out on, the night where a lot of people were celebrating Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
but
Vanessa got a $1 an hour pay raise. She was at 11.
which is huge. But again, I mean, like her base though, and like if you're
if you're not
living for the base, right? Like
And she's obviously not, but you
Correct.
know that's what you're getting. You work your hours, that's what you're getting. Maybe you can't get to the
but
incentive
you
pay.
should budget for the base.
Right.
Oh, I always did. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I started out at Gentex at $10 an hour, right?
You shouldn't
And
budget for.
I work my ass off, and there are times I just couldn't get to even minimum requirements. It wasn't because I didn't try or didn't care, but there are some things that are out of my control. And that's what we're talking about
Yes.
here. So, to go back to student loans for a minute, all these, especially fucking boomers, fuck you boomers, are against student loan forgiveness.
Yeah.
They signed up for it. They should just pay it.
fact.
You're a fucking boomer.
Fact.
Anyways,
I mean, we all know this, right?
and I look at it this way. I didn't take out student loans, and if I had, I would have paid them. But I have no problem with student loan forgiveness. Now, if you're telling me that you took out $100,000 even if you paid back, let's say 70,000. Yeah, I'm great with forgiving the rest because I already know that you probably owe 170,000
Sure.
for no fucking reason other than they can.
So now Godwin,
Yep.
we coached there. We did whatever. I own multiple places there.
Yep.
Okay. Godwin is so fucking broke
Mhm.
that their expansion for the softball field and baseball field and all that, my taxes every year, I have a $300 and something per property added tax because they decided to expand.
According to them, that had nothing to do with it. All they did was extend the millage. They didn't add on to it.
It says Godwin deficit, right? They're in debt. I'm paying off Godwin's debt.
Mhm.
Right? Do you
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just
that's-
telling you what they said.
Do you
That's
think
kind
they
of what
should forgive?
happens though when they extend the millage.
Oh,
anyway.
now it's okay. Now
No,
it's
no, no,
okay.
no.
I'm not
it's
saying
okay.
it's okay.
Okay, like I got
All I'm saying is like
my
knew-
yearly valuation. I'll use
Yep.
the right term. Valuation on my property a couple of days ago.
Yep.
My property dropped 3 or 4%
Shut up.
in Portage where I live. Even with
Shut
the
the fuck
fact
up.
that but again,
No.
but again, I probably live in a neighborhood
Doesn't
that
matter.
isn't
I've not heard anybody in the past years.
the value of my property dropped from, and I mean, again, property isn't what the value of your property
It's
isn't what you can
50%
sell
of-
for.
yeah,
It's basically 50%, like you said.
50% of what you bought it for, and then they value it up even more.
Yeah.
Like,
It dropped from like 48,000 to 46,000.
shut up.
Yeah.
So either A, you have nothing selling around you,
I think that's the point, because I have nothing
Right.
selling around me.
or B, wow, you live in the only area in the USA that nothing. Wow.
Well, again, if things aren't selling, your
Well, you can't
property
value.
value's
Yeah,
not
you can't
correct,
value
yeah.
anything, right? Because
I think because there's a lot of rentals in my neighborhood.
that's probably it. I
Yeah.
mean, like
I basically bought somebody a house that somebody just decided they didn't want to
rent anymore.
do a rental for anymore.
Yeah.
So Vanessa's going to answer something for me in a minute. We'll get back to her. So here's another tweet. Chipotle, 26% profit increase, raising prices.
Yep.
Starbucks, 31% profit increase, raising prices.
Yep.
McDonald's, 59% profit increase, took a McChicken from $1 to $1.50, according to Nick, because I don't know. I don't
right
eat 'em.
there, 50 raising
Yeah.
almost a 50% increase in price.
59%. That's
Yeah.
an actual statement. I think it went
Yeah.
$1.59.
Shell Mobile BP, 60% profit increase, raising prices. There's not a
you,
labor,
BP.
there's not a labor shortage. This is an inflation. It's 100% corporate greed. And it is because they're not raising.
I can understand everything, but actually, gas prices, unfortunately, there's so many factors that go into it, even outside the company
Yes.
itself.
Correct.
It's like,
Cost of oil barrels.
Yes.
Yes.
But they're raising. I mean, that's not what that's saying. That okay. So like when
no,
oil
with a
barrels goes
60%
up,
profit
they still-
increase, they could have easily kept their prices the same and still probably ended up making
correct.
20 to 30% profit.
Right.
You know, that's what. Okay, so we're gonna relate this back to fat people.
Yeah.
So like you go to Speedway, which granted that's not part of their list. But you go to Speedway, and you used to be able to get 2 grillers for $2. Now the grillers are 2 for $3. Right. So like my Tornadoes cost me more. You go buy. You used to be able to get a glass of pop for 79 cents. Now that's $1.30. Right.
So you want to talk fat guys?
a fact.
Arby's.
Oh, I just went there.
Arby's 5 for $5 roast beefs. The regular roast beefs,
That's
5 for $5.
yeah. When I was like,
And now it's like 4 for $5.
no,
It went to 5 for $5.55. Then it went to 4 for $5. Then it went to 3 for $5. Now it's fucking 2 for $6.
2 for $6. Yep. But don't worry, it comes with cheese. That nobody wants to eat that nasty fucking cheese on that
No,
sandwich.
those beef and cheddars are absolutely
Horrible.
Thank you.
Horrible.
The only person I know that likes those is my daughter.
Oh my gosh! Like
Gross.
no.
Kind of a double thing. The sauce doesn't taste great. The
No.
cheese is very cheap, and I just don't like onion buns.
So I just
I
ordered-
love onion
this
buns.
Well,
was-
you do,
I do.
and I hate
and you'll get them
onions.
for like your Italian beef
I
and stuff. And I'm
will.
like, can I get a non-onion bun?
Well, you won't eat the Italian beef on bread because it makes it wet.
If you'd have come up 20 minutes earlier on Saturday and like let my beef like sit in like a colander or something to drip out, I would have eaten it on bread happily.
Oh my goodness!
See, I love it when I want them
Because I
to
love
take.
okay, what's
I
my-
want
what-
them to take my Italian beef and I want them to dip it in
what
the
is my
onion.
what is my favorite sandwich?
Fuck, dude, don't ask me. My memory
Okay,
sucks.
it's got corned beef on it.
Okay.
It's got cheese.
Uh-huh.
It's got sauerkraut.
Okay.
Reuben.
Oh,
yeah,
I
you
had
do
that.
Reuben.
In fact, I am such picky about my Reubens. When I see somebody who say, like, you've been out with me, and
I
I've been
have.
like, you want the California Reuben or the regular? But the California Reuben is not a Reuben.
It's a fucking turkey, right?
It's turkey.
It's a fucking turkey sandwich with some sauerkraut.
Yeah, no, not even sour coleslaw.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no. So I had a Brooklyn Reuben at this place. It's pastrami. Fuck you. No, it's not.
You know what?
even
I can
Reuben.
handle pastrami because
I
it's
do like
basically
pastrami,
well,
but-
it's basically just peppered corned beef. So
Correct.
at least it's in the same family.
Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna bring you to a place that has a fantastic Reuben.
Is that the big thing? Is it has to have Thousand Island,
Fact.
it has to have the sauerkraut,
Fact.
and it has to have the Swiss cheese.
And it has to be on a sourdough.
And right,
rye.
right.
Preferably
Yeah,
a marble rye.
I can handle adding the pepper on the outside of pastrami. So I probably love pastrami more than I love corned beef because of the fact that
would
it's got
agree.
the pepper and stuff.
I
in
would
it.
agree. Mike, we could eat the same.
Well, you know, we will
But they've
be on a
got
cruise
Beer
together
Exchange
soon.
has
They call
Beer
me
Exchange
Mr.
has
pastrami.
again like they call it like a Western pastrami or something. But
Really?
it's pastrami, but again, it's coleslaw and it's on
No.
sourdough.
No.
So
I don't want this shit. I want
no,
sauerkraut.
yes,
Oh,
sauerkraut,
anyway.
rye bread.
So Vanessa shot out a thing here, and she basically said that she took out a $30,000. Hey, Vanessa, you want to jump on? Jump on.
Yeah.
Can you do it on Podbean though? Because if you do it on Podbean, we can hear you. So we go to the call-in option.
Or the same link he probably sent you the last time you were on
Click on her name. Let's see if you can
Zoom. You could probably join the
Invite.
Zoom.
Here, I'm inviting you.
as a speaker.
Anyways, I'm going to read what she said. She took out $30,000 in loans, had a mental breakdown, had to drop out, never graduated, and that was over 72,000.
Sure.
And I asked her, you know, how much she's paid. She doesn't know, but she's paid on and off for 13 years.
And it shouldn't take that long to pay off student loans. I mean, maybe it should, but it should still be a decent interest rate. It shouldn't be
Oh, you know it's 12 to 18%.
12 to 18% and then compounded regularly.
Correct.
I'm
So-
sorry, if the one guy took out 20,000 and he's going to basically have to pay 240,000 if he were to pay it off now.
Mhm.
That's insane. And yet maybe he did default on it a few times, but still you default. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you default on like your home loan or whatever, you get evicted
Right.
after a certain amount of time.
No. That's a rental.
Oh, sorry, rental.
If
Or
you
you get
default
foreclosed.
on-
Sorry, foreclosed, yes.
Wait,
Sorry.
let's be clear
Sorry,
on this.
foreclosed.
Say yes.
Just the wrong.
Yeah,
I'm old.
I get it.
But yeah, you get foreclosed. But yeah, it takes like 6 months to a year before they foreclose on you.
So
Average college interest rate.
while we're here, waiting to see if
Undergrads
Vanessa jumps on.
3.7, graduate students 5.28, 6.2 for parents and graduate students.
But how often is it compounded? But again, it doesn't help
It's actually
when
pretty-
you're getting interest on it from the day you take out the
Correct.
loan.
Right. Oh my gosh.
When you can't pay it.
Federal student loan interest rate fell nearly. Way too much.
So while you're looking, another Dan Price one.
Yep.
When employees leave Apple, it changes everyone's job title to associate. Now, I have not verified this,
Yeah.
but I have to assume that, you know, he's not.
I would imagine
Bullshitting.
Dan Price is doing his research.
So it becomes impossible for other companies to verify their resume, leading to rescinding job offers and lower pay. Just pointless cruelty by a $2.8 trillion company.
But I've got to imagine Apple is not the only company out there that
All
does
right.
it.
That changes everybody's job title to associate, so it becomes impossible for other companies to verify their resume, leading to.
But the way it sounds like is when somebody leaves, they basically say, okay,
All
their
right.
title is associate.
Yeah, I completely agree, but
So you could be the CEO and you may still
be an associate.
be an associate.
So you think that companies are vindictive this much is what you're thinking?
I think that this company might be.
I believe, and I don't think every company out there is like that, but I think there are enough companies. I'm not going to say most. I'm not going to give any percentage that basically do not like when people leave them.
And honestly, do they do this to everybody? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But maybe they do it to enough people that they have an axe to grind with, or they don't want to go to a competitor.
Sure. Huh.
Yeah, the last thing I'm sure Apple wants to do is have somebody, especially if they're in like their engineering or product development department, jump ship to Google or Motorola or anything like that and bring, trade secrets. I mean, there should be confidentiality agreements that keep them from being able to take trade secrets and stuff like that.
So while we're waiting on Vanessa to figure out how to use technology, back to Chipotle.
Technology is hard.
She's going to try Zoom. Chipotle, we were forced to raise prices 10% over the last year due to inflation. Also, Chipotle, last year we gave our CEO a 137% raise to 38 million and paid him 2.898 times our median worker, while our revenue is up 22% in the last year to a record high.
No, you said 2.89 your median worker. It's 2,000.
Sorry.
Percent,
889.
Yeah, it's basically almost 3,000% your median worker salary.
Yeah, that's
2.89 would not be a bad thing. 2,000%, 3,000% is a bad thing. But aren't some of these places the ones that go into like when there used to be like undercover boss and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I say, but I will tell you that I had Qdoba yesterday
Yes.
for buy one get one free Qdoba. So
I think I'm a bigger Qdoba fan than Chipotle just
me
because
too.
of these things.
I've always liked Qdoba better just because I don't know, that's what I had when they first started coming out.
More
So I just
options.
kind of they used to have a poblano pesto that I absolutely
Oh,
loved as
yeah.
one of their sauces.
yeah, that was a long time ago. Gosh, you're old,
So because
I am old. I'm like what, 15 years your senior.
yeah,
if not more.
because I love to bag on Ron Johnson because he's a douchebag.
Ron Swanson.
Ron Johnson,
No, we never bag on Rod Swanson.
right? Wisconsin senator, horrible.
There you go.
Wisconsin apparently has so many jobs that Republican Ron Johnson is content to let South Carolina have 1,000 of them for an Oshkosh-based manufacturer. According the quote from Ron Johnson, it's not like we don't have enough jobs here in Wisconsin.
What's their unemployment rate?
I don't know, but I bet Nick could look it up.
Oh man.
Poor Vanessa keeps trying to join, but she isn't getting in anywhere. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
Maybe I found it. Are you there, Vanessa? Oh, there she comes.
Hey,
Vanessa's joining us on Zoom, so I think we got a couple.
Let me
people
stop the
on-
Podbean.
Yeah, please. We have a couple people on Podbean that will not be able to hear Vanessa, so you will actually have to listen to the show when we upload it to hear what she says. But I'll try to recap some of it.
2.8% unemployment rate in Wisconsin.
2.8%,
Yeah.
but they have plenty of jobs, so they don't need any more.
well, 2.8%
It's not
unemployment
bad.
rate is a pretty decent unemployment rate.
But they're getting rid of 1,000 jobs, so what will it be in a little bit here?
2.9%. Yeah. Sorry, they've got like some. Well, I mean, Milwaukee's probably the only really big city, but
Yeah, the
still.
rest of them,
Oh,
they don't have what Michigan
sounds like
has.
New Glarus is hiring everybody.
Hey, there you go. All right, Vanessa, let's talk about your student loan because I know that's
Yes.
why you hopped on here.
Yes. Okay, so my interest rates are really low actually. I have like 2.3 up to 6.8%.
Okay.
But I've been paying on them on and off, for years. And I owe more than double what I started with.
How many years?
No, she
At
said
least
on here
13.
13.
13.
Yeah. I mean, Cheyenne, when I
Wow.
went to when I was in school, I was a single mom. Cheyenne was in elementary school. I was not really receiving child support.
Sure.
I made too much to qualify for any state benefits,
Mhm.
and I own my own home. I was working full time, and so I knew that I needed an education to get further. So I tried to go back to school. Well, it was too much, and I had a mental breakdown, and I had to drop out of school. So I was never able to graduate. And still being a single mom for years afterwards. I mean, Cheyenne was 12 when I met Josh. So, and then Jake came along and, here I am, 43 years old, $72,000 in debt, no college education, still paying student loans.
So you were 30 when you took out this debt.
At that point, I had been in school for a couple of years.
Okay.
So
I guess, I mean, I see that it doubled, right? Like, I mean, what do you want for an interest?
225%. It's gone up.
If she said it doubled only once, right?
It was 30.
Well-
It's up to 72.
yeah,
It's 225%.
Yeah.
about 30. I mean, give or take. I mean, I wasn't sure what the original amounts were. And going back to David, you had made a comment about, you
But
know,
still, if
somebody
she's
who was buying
paid
groceries.
some and it's still that much.
Hold that thought. I want to hear what she said.
When I was in school as a single mom, you know, they didn't teach me about these student loans. They didn't give me any education in what it was about. When I took out the student loans and they sent me a check, I bought groceries. I paid the light bill. I had to buy Cheyenne shoes. I had to, you know, all of those things that I had to catch up on. And that was a great relief for me at the time as a single mom, owning my own home, you know, with no help from her. I shouldn't say no help, with little to no help from her dad. The only time he paid child support when she was younger was when he was with another woman and she sent me a check.
Wow.
What were you going to say, Mike?
But still, even if she had never paid anything for it to go from 30 to basically, like you said, 225% is crazy.
Yeah. But that's what we're dealing with.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand about the student loans. It's not that people aren't willing to pay back what they took, or even
Right.
what they took with a reasonable amount of
It's the fact
interest.
that they're paying an insane amount of interest.
I mean, if
And
I
every late or deferred payment is penalized. And
so if I said
Yeah,
to Vanessa right
well-
now, because of course I love numbers, so 30,000. If I said to Vanessa right now, Vanessa, you have to pay back 120% of what you took out. That'd be $36,000. Be okay with that?
At this point, yeah, like figure it out. Yeah.
that's reasonable.
It's reasonable. Everybody's making money at that point. But unfortunately, that's not the society we live in. We're the nation that
Oh, sorry, how much 32,000 you have to pay back? How much?
36. 30,000 to 36.
Okay.
That's 120% instead of 225.
Okay. So now being this person, right? So she said she was making payments.
Mhm.
Stop making her payments.
Yeah.
So now I, right, am broke.
Okay.
So how is that fair to me?
Yeah, I get that it's not fair.
Okay.
The
But going
difference,
back to the-
But you don't care
do I care? Not really.
because I'm filthy rich.
I don't care about banks at all, period.
I mean, in somewhat you do.
I
They-
care if
they
they
bought
give
you a
me
fucking
money.
house,
If they
right?
give me money, I care.
Right.
No, my point here is, yeah, there are issues if you can't make the payments, but with student loans, you can get deferment. So
Sure.
they're used to not getting payments.
And going back to the predatory, you know, I would default and get phone calls, which added to the stress, which added to, you know, whatever.
And at
And-
that point, you don't even want to take the call.
Right. Which I didn't most of the time. But you know, I would call in and they'd be like, oh, well, did you want to defer these? And, you know, all I had to do was say yes. And all of my payments were caught up. The phone calls stopped, you know, and I wouldn't have another payment for 3 months. Awesome. That sounds wonderful. Sign me up. And, you know, they don't tell you that what it actually does to your loans and what it's doing to you. And again, as a single mom, making $10 an hour at the time, back when Cheyenne was young, owning my own home, making it on my own, no state assistance, that was a godsend.
Well, you know, and I know Dawn, when we first got vehicles, she'd be like, hey, they'll let us skip a payment this month.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God.
no, we're not fucking doing that because they're just going to add that interest on at the end. And I'm not doing that. And she's like, yeah, but we could use the money. I'm like, no, we're not fucking doing
I
that.
even get that now every time. Like
Skip your payment.
Yeah, they're like skip a
But, you
payment,
know,
skip a
as-
payment, skip a mortgage payment. I'm like, nope.
Yep. My
Good
mom,
pay
it out.
my mom had that when I was a kid, and I was like, nope, you're not skipping this.
I'll tell you, going back to the mindset back then, you know, that again was a godsend to me, doing those things, because
And it,
when you're in that situation and you are so broke and you're like, how am I going to keep the lights on and how am I going to put food in her belly?
Yep.
You know what? My loan is not coming. The end isn't for 3 years. I'll figure it out in 3 years.
Mhm.
And that's what they rely on.
Exactly.
What the banks and creditors are relying on is they need to keep plunging you deeper and deeper into debt because that's what makes them money. People say all the time, don't use credit cards, they're evil. No, I love credit cards. I mean, they pay me $800-900 a year to use them because I use them instead of them using me.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, they're great. So I'm at Disney last week. Vanessa, you're gonna love this. I'm at Disney
And I'm
last
still
week.
angry because if I would have known you would have gone, I'd had a list.
I'm sure you would have.
See,
So-
you should be mad at him because he would send me pictures. Say, you want something like this? And I'd be like, yeah.
I did. I
Give me a
bought him a
couple of
bantha
those.
and a couple pins. We're walking past, we're going to say a booth because it was like a tented thing at Disney Springs.
Mhm.
And it was for, I want to say, Chase Visa, Disney Visa.
Yeah.
And as I walked past, I looked it down. I said, hey, there's Vanessa's friends.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, again, like you said, between, if you got the right credit cards that don't charge, annual fees and, don't have unreasonable, sign on, requirements and stuff like that. And they give you cash back or other rewards and stuff like that. Yeah. Credit cards are great because again, you can
Use them.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and tell me what my interest rates are. I don't give a shit. I don't carry a balance.
Yeah.
You can make it 40%. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If they want to give me a cash back card that will give me 5% and charge me 60% interest to do it, I'll take that card because I'm never going to pay interest.
No.
I want 5%.
Well, like I said, there are times, like I'll save up like my Amazon rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And around the time of my kids' birthdays, I can pay for most of their gifts on
Mhm.
credit I've made on my Amazon rewards card.
Yeah.
I mean, I get.
Nick, you have to be, I understand, I can see where your thought process is a lot, but it goes back to the walk a mile in someone else's shoes. I don't think you've ever been a single parent. I don't think it's being a single parent.
He
It's
never
hard.
has been a single parent. He's
I know.
married.
I
And
know.
his
It
daughter
is-
was with his wife that he's with.
It's fact.
It's hard. It's you're trying to pay bills, you're trying to work, you've got all these responsibilities.
And you're trying to make
If
your
it wasn't
life
for
better.
my parents,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have survived.
I
honestly,
grew up that
I'm
way.
telling you.
Well,
But it's different. I grew up that way. My parents moved to Grand Rapids because my dad couldn't find a job. We left our family behind
Right.
when I was in 3rd grade. We lived that way. And it is totally different from living that way as a kid and living that way as a parent.
Yep.
well, and part of
Completely different.
Nick's problem is, and I think he'll admit it, is his view on everything is I started off with fucking nothing and I worked my ass off to get what I got, and everybody else can do it too. And to an extent, he's right, but to an extent,
Right.
he's also wrong. There's not everybody else that can do that. There's not
I worked my
everybody
ass
else.
off.
Right. There's not everybody else that has made the opportunities that Nick did. I mean, he listened to one teacher in school that said, hey, go buy properties. And he latched onto that. And ever since has just been hustling and running around.
Yeah.
I mean, he's recounted countless stories on here of people that want to, do rentals and stuff. And he's like, have you knocked on every door in your neighborhood? Well, no. Well, talk to me when you have. And he's not wrong. Absolutely. If you want to go for
Right.
that works. Go do that. But there are plenty of people out there that, they're just kind of behind the 8 ball and it doesn't necessarily work for them. If I hadn't had the job I had and basically been forced to work a shit ton of overtime.
90 hours of freaking work.
Yeah, because I didn't have anybody else competent to do the job with me. I never would have gotten ahead money wise. I wouldn't have been able to afford a trip to Hawaii. I wouldn't have been able to afford a house. I wouldn't have been able to afford jack shit.
Right. And my sister and I relied a lot on each other as well. And there's a lot of single moms out there who do not have the support that me and my sister had. And my sister used to work for Shelley doing daycare.
Yep.
And I worked a full-time job at an office. And Cheyenne went to Shelley's daycare with my sister. But I would get the kids and my sister would go work a second job. And I took care of the kids at night a lot of times when my sister worked. She worked, like her Toys R Us. She did office cleaning. She did, whatever.
Pretty much any job she could do.
Exactly. And if it wasn't for those jobs, she wouldn't have survived, because at the full-time job that she was at, she was just at that minimum where she didn't qualify for anything.
Staff as much as they probably should.
There's a lot of parents in that position where the state and the government tells you make too much, but your bank account and your kid's belly say you don't.
Well,
and it's a hard place to be in.
I remember being in that position right before Dawn and I got married.
Mm-hmm.
She was between jobs, and I was working 30 hours a week for $8.50 an hour. So I mean, I wasn't making dick. And they approved her for whatever food stamps is now, but I think it was still food stamps then. And she was set to get it, and then she got a job, and they said, "Oh, you got a job?" And she goes, "Yeah." They said, "Well, what do you make?" And she shows them, and they're like, "Yeah, you don't qualify anymore. Fuck you."
Yeah, you make too much.
And we were like, "Oh, sweet," because mind you, she was making like 25 cents an hour more than I was.
Right.
And we're like, "All right, well, I guess we're not eating again this week." I made that comment to my mom. I said, "Yeah, I found the best diet." She goes, "What is it?" I said, "Too broke to buy food." Too broke. And she goes, "That's not funny." I said, "Who the fuck said I was trying to be funny? Caitlin gets breakfast and lunch at school. I can't fucking make dinner. I don't have anything."
Right. My dad grew up one of 11. They were poor farmers. So my dad, I love him. He has food insecurities, even at 72 years old. And every week, that man, regardless, goes grocery shopping. That's it. That's what he does. He's going grocery shopping, and he would go and he would pick up food for me and my sister. "Well, I thought the girls might use this box of macaroni," or, "Oh, I saw this and I thought you girls could use an extra gallon of milk." If it wasn't for my parents, and my mom would still make Sunday dinner, and we would go over to my parents' house for Sunday dinner. If it wasn't for my parents, Cheyenne and I would not have survived. End of story. That's it. Because I made too much with no support from her dad. And I bought a house, I had a car, I provided everything for her. And when her dad did pay the $200 a month he was required for child support, when he did, that was it. It was hard. It was hard.
I mean, and it's not meant to be easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trust me, like you say, I don't know what it's like to be a single parent, right? But like, you also we talked about this at the beginning of the episode, you don't understand my standards, right? Like, I hold myself to a very, very high standard, right? And you say, "Oh, hey, we wouldn't survive," and it's like, to me, right, like, I wouldn't survive without giving what I've given and what I'm going to give, and right, like, what my intentions are. And yes, okay, they're better than what other people are, but like, still in the end, like, it sucks for me as a person, right? Like, and so, it's what drives me. I'm not saying the same thing drives everybody, right? And sure, like, looking back, I can pick certain things, and like, yeah, I think it goes back to a financial education of things, right? Like, there's still in the back of my mind that I feel like there's going to be a day where my kid has to struggle, right? And I don't want that.
It will probably happen.
Yeah, we hope not. Right?
We hope not, but won't that make her a more well-rounded person? Not that we want her to struggle,
right?
But she will learn lessons from that.
Oh, 100%, right? But like, I hope she struggles on her choices, not off of mine.
Even with some of the things that you've done to build, your wealth, so your, properties and stuff like that. If
But
something
Cheyenne
went
has also
wrong,
learned
you
from
always
my
had
mistakes.
the fallback of Courtney's, money or whatever, since you've been married and stuff like that. And that's the thing. And Vanessa, when she was single, she didn't have any other thing to fall back on. If she did not make what she needed to make, or she, I'm guessing this would have been in some cases close to the 2008, 2009 recession. If you'd have lost your job, you would have been up a creek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I met on Monday, it's Josh and I's anniversary, 11 years. We've been together 13. So Cheyenne was 12 when 11, 12 when I met him.
Mhm.
So, she's 22 now.
So you met him right
So-
at the end of the recession.
Yeah.
But even then, you had just met him. At that point, there was no
Mhm.
guarantee he was going to be
And he
your
was-
husband.
yeah.
You were going to have a kid together. And
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and at that point, I would have to assume you were at BSI.
No, I was at CWS.
Were you at
that point.
CWS by then?
Yes.
Okay. So you're probably not long, because Dawn was still at BSI at that point.
Yeah.
And I mean, she kind of followed you over to CWS, but both companies, major issues with management, way underpaid their staff and treated them like they were 3 fucking years old. I mean, I remember going through that with Dawn.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's and that was the other thing. Like, I was the only person. Kent County. I'll say Kent County. When you're a temp, right? You don't get hired in, right? Like I had a job at Kellogg's. I was making $8.25 an hour when I was dating my wife at the time. I mean, I was the only person putting in 70-hour weeks, making $8.25 an hour, and people don't understand. They're like, and sure, there's other jobs, but it's like you knew if you got into Kellogg's, you were making 20-something an hour, right?
Yes.
Like we know people there that make 30, 40 an hour, and then double time,
click on the LinkedIn little button,
and then
the one on the just the one on the far.
Yeah.
It'll bring up what the message is.
double time.
You have to click on, actually push it.
Hold it.
And
You really believe that?
No.
Do you think I'm going to follow
No.
Tim Tebow?
People with similar interests are following Tim Tebow. No, they're not.
I don't know who your friends are, but
No shit.
right,
Definitely
so,
not anybody who's following Tim Tebow.
So it's very hard.
At least
to,
not the ones I really care about.
It's very hard to find. Like I took a job out at Gentex, and
Yeah.
it was temp to hire. Right. I mean, I made
Mhm.
$10 an hour. Took me, and they promised they're like, "Oh, we hire you in," and it took me all 6 months to get hired in. While I'm watching other people get hired in like a month too, and I'm like, "Oh, here we go again." Right.
Yep.
I risked this, but I don't know. I've been paid the least, but when I get paid the least, I put in the most amount of work, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but at that time, were you single?
In theory,
Did you have a kid?
no.
Okay. So you were working. So as a parent,
Yeah, but-
you don't have that option.
But
I worked
so
40
if,
hours and I had a kid to take care of. I couldn't work, 2 jobs. My parents took care of Cheyenne for a long time when I first moved back home, and they did take her a lot.
sure.
But as you can't. They don't have daycare at night, and if they have night daycare, it is so expensive. My sister and I traded off a lot, and a lot of people don't have those options.
Oh, I agree. I was raised by my grandparents, right? And my mom would go to work at 3 a.m. or whatever, and I'd get dropped off over there. But another thing about my childhood that you don't understand, right, is I started working at 12 years old and paying bills at 12 years old, not just with my mom's money. I've been a financial person for my family. I have 2 brothers, I have a brother and a sister. I remember even probably, gosh, I got a real job at 16, right? I was paying for medication for my dad's new wife, right? Hey, I need money. So yes, okay, it's not my specific kid, but I look at my family as this is my family, and I've literally busted my ass my whole life, and that's what kept me. And to be honest, it sucks, but it's what kept me so poor and for so long until my father, people know, this is a lot of personal shit. My father and I haven't spoken years, right? I was raised by my grandparents, my mom, out of my life, stuff like that. When I started getting away from that, I actually started having money,
Yeah.
right? I get the struggle, but I was never, you say, hey, I bought a house and I bought a car. You made the choices, so you can't go back, you can't do it. But you said you have parents, you could have lived in a bedroom. I can't tell you what
I did. It was not a good situation.
It's not a good situation, but the fact is it's a thing, right? I don't want to tell you you're wrong, because that's not the whole point of this. But I'm saying is you say, hey, this is, and I appreciate your struggling. You're where you're at because you did it and you're a better person for it, blah, blah, blah. But I live the same shit life. You say, hey, it's not.
And I get
as your
that,
kid.
but but like some of the things that you say though, not everybody had those opportunities. Not everybody, like, you know, I talked to David about working shift or whatever, dawn. Not everybody can work two jobs. Not everybody can work
We talked
80
about that in
hours
the
a week.
beginning.
So I mean,
Not everybody can do all the things that you did. There are certain circumstances in everybody's life that are not equal to what you went through, and they can't always do the things that way. That should be the way it should be done, you know.
No, I mean, it's not like I
Well-
get what you're saying, because we talked about that. Like, there's people who just mentally, physically can't work 40 plus hours a week. Like, and I get that, and it mentally screws with you, right?
So
Like,
I mean, I think this is kind of a good story to kind of interject here, because you know a lot of what Vanessa's talking about, Dawn and I have gone through. So I remember when we first got together, and this would have been pre-wedding. Dawn and I are working first shift, and we had to have somebody to watch Caitlin because my mother was adamant she was not watching Caitlin. She wasn't watching. She wasn't helping out. It wasn't her granddaughter. She didn't give a fuck.
mhm.
Figure it out. It's not my problem. So I had to find somebody that was willing to basically watch Caitlin for, you know, 20 or 30 bucks while I was at work.
Yeah.
Or I took her to work with me. I took her to pack mail.
Yeah.
And I remember her being at pack mail. This is my favorite pack mail story ever. So, you know, we would make boxes out of flat sheets of cardboard.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, you're cutting pieces. So there'd be strips of cardboard all over. She brings her Hot Wheels in, and she made these intricate roads with the fucking pieces of cardboard.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of it because it was so fucking cool.
And
And
that's the sign that she needed to go into graphic design.
yeah, it really was. I mean, she was just, it was awesome, the things she was making. And I mean, you know, if we couldn't have found somebody to watch her for 30 bucks, or I wouldn't have had a boss that was willing to let me bring her in and she'd just sit in the corner and play with her cars, we'd have been fucked. And I wasn't making any money. I was making $8.50 an hour for 30 hours a week. That's no money.
It's not money.
And you know, Dawn was
Yeah.
making $9 maybe and she would, you know, be working two jobs. So I mean, there was nothing. We had nothing. And yeah, we found our
You
way
had
out of
nothing,
it.
and you were living at that point still with your mother. So,
Actually, at that point, we were out.
oh, were you out of your mom's?
We were out. We were paying $8.25 a month for a 2-bedroom
Okay.
because that's when we were at Old Farm Shores.
Okay.
And I don't know how the hell we paid rent. I don't know how the hell we paid for her vehicle. I don't know how anything got paid
Yeah.
because we weren't making it.
And
of course,
yeah.
working in retail, I'm working a job that, you know, yay, it's great. It's Thanksgiving. We're not open and you're not getting holiday pay because we don't do that. It's retail. Sweet. One less paid day this week. Awesome. So, I mean, you know, we'd run into those things and, you know, you find ways to make things work, but it doesn't necessarily work well. And, you know, it took, Dawn and I got together in 2000. It took us till the end of 2008 to really figure out how to manage our money because we didn't have enough to manage. It didn't really fucking matter.
Right.
I filed bankruptcy and my mom helped us buy a double wide.
Yeah.
And we go to insure it, and the lady goes, all right, well, we're going to put like $100,000 worth of insurance on your stuff. And I went, yeah, we don't need to do that. She goes, well, what do you mean? I'm like, I fucking filed bankruptcy 3 months ago. We own like $2,000 worth of shit, put $2,000 on it. Well, it can't be that low. I'm like, the fuck it can't. I filled the paperwork out. Who wants a 10-year-old fucking TV? It weighs 1,000 pounds.
You're
You
gonna
can't even
couch.
take it to break room therapy to break it.
It was a CRT. You can't even take it to break room therapy to break it.
Yeah, before I worked for BSI, I worked at a place called Don Foods in Granville, and I worked for an old school guy. You know, his wife stayed home, and Cheyenne once came down with strep throat, and my mom still worked at that point, and he was so angry because I had to call in sick when I wasn't sick, and he would not let me bring her in. You know, he expected me to find daycare, and you can't send a sick kid to daycare, first of all, you know, and so not everybody is as lucky as you to find a place that you could bring your kid. And actually, when I worked for BSI, I worked in the basement, and I was able to bring her to work at those points because I was in that back corner in the basement, and I was lucky in that aspect. But before that, there are bosses out there who are just jerks. Both
And
male
it might
and
be a reason
female.
why
Who,
this guy over here loves working from home so much
Mhm.
is the fact that it will give him that opportunity. Like if Caitlin ever has a kid and
Oh,
her
absolutely.
and her partner can't, make daycare meet, she's got a place she can drop her kid off at.
I love my mother. Okay. I love my mother, but I will never be my mother.
Yeah.
Okay. I will never sit there and go, well, it's not really my grandkid. I'm not taking care of it. Fuck you.
Yeah, but that was a little different. That was before you guys were married. I mean, your mom.
She did it after
Okay,
we
but
were
your
married.
mom
Now she loves Caitlin more than anything.
Yeah.
But it took her a long time to get to that point. There was a point, Caitlin was probably 12 or 13, and she still did not call my mother grandmother. She called her by her first fucking name. She still mostly calls her by her first name.
Yeah.
But my mother now, with Caitlin being 26, will refer to her as her granddaughter. But that took 15 years.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
It's crazy because I mean, like, pretty much as soon as I married my ex, I thought of those kids that she had with her first marriage as my kids.
Yes.
and Josh's parents are so much like that. I got lucky in that aspect too. So
I never for a minute felt like Caitlin wasn't mine. I felt like Caitlin was mine before I decided I was going to stick around with Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Josh was the same. That's his girl.
Yeah, I
That's-
love that kid. It's all that mattered, and whatever else happened. I didn't really
She
give a
calls
shit.
him, can we, when they need money or whatever, she calls Josh, doesn't call me.
No, because she knows who's going to give it to her.
That's her. Yeah. Now when they were growing up, when Cheyenne was growing up, they were at each other's throats. He loved her and he treated her like his. She didn't understand some of the things back then, but now, and we don't always just give her money either. We the last time she had to figure out insurance because she's pregnant. Her dad's insurance wouldn't allow her the appointments and stuff on that, and she had to get her own insurance. Well, she had to pay the initial premium to get on it, but didn't get paid for 2 days. And so she asked if she could borrow the money because she had it. Like as soon as she got paid, she had it. But luckily she went a different route and didn't need it right away. But she still called him first. Like I had no idea. Like I was working and Josh came in my office and he's like, "Hey, you can send Cheyenne like $300, right?" I'm like, "For what?" Like it was like,
Right.
I had no idea.
No, and that, I say it's great to have that ability to help out, right? And you find it in different ways. But no, I think I'm not saying that it's possible like for everybody, right? Like the idea of this is like,
Well, again, that's why we do what we do, right?
right, education wise, like the whole point of hey, this college debt talk, right? I look at it different, right? But like I guess and I think that it's great because like when I think about it, I look at a debt as there's nothing out there that I can't accomplish paying,
Mhm.
right? And when other people look at debt, they look at it like I'm gonna have this forever, and it is what it is, right? And like I think there's two mindsets, right? Like if you look at something and just like I don't care what it is, like I don't care what it takes, I don't care anything, right? Like I look at your $74,000 and I can have that paid off in a year, right? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be great, right? Like you're not going to love your life, but I can do it, right? Like,
But you're saying you can do it as
like
I could something.
I can teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
Like I can
But
teach
only
when
made
you, when you went to
$35,000. How are
school, I mean, I'm sure the scholarship didn't cover everything.
No, I took out student
Yeah.
debt and I paid
But
my
still.
I make that joke. So I had to get my transcripts. So I was thinking about going back to school and I called Davenport and I thought I had been debt free for probably 10 years at this time. Right. And, I call up and they're like, "Yeah, I know you have a balance on, you still owe for student loans." And I was like, "Fuck, I don't owe shit. Like I haven't owed in forever. They're like, nope, it shows that you owe $2.14. And I was like, shut up right now.
Which means you probably owed a penny,
Probably.
and it compounded.
Yeah, I was like, so, when I called, I was like, hey, I need exact payoff. It was an added admin fee that kind of happened.
Yeah, but it still was probably like a $2 admin fee.
Yeah.
That has compounded 100%.
To 14, yeah. So, but I finally paid that off and then realized I
Well,
to go back to school anyway.
And I
But
think
there's no way that you can pay off $72,000 in debt, only making $35,000 a year.
Well, you don't. That's the whole point. You don't need to make only 35,000 in a year. You can make more.
You can,
That's what I made last year
yeah.
with
Right, but-
incentive pay.
But he's saying you should basically go out, make investments, buy property, have
not
another
even
source of
necessarily
income.
that. Go do DoorDash.
Go do DoorDash, go do Ship.
There,
It's-
there are sell everything you own.
But again,
these
neglect
things-
your
there's-
child.
There's ways.
There's
Yes, you
possible.
absolutely can. So, before I get back to student loans, because I really want to, so I know somebody that had a child. They were 9 years old, died of cancer, had cancer their whole fucking life. They will never pay that off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They will never pay that off because they owe over $1 million.
You get your kids' debt.
Do I get my kids debt? No, they do
They get their kids' debt.
That's their
Really?
debt because he
It
was a
was-
minor.
because it's a minor.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If your kid is in the hospital,
Just to let everybody know.
if
this is how
Courtney
much
were in the
financial-
hospital, it would not be Courtney's debt. It would be your debt.
No, I don't.
She
sign
is
any
not.
of her
She
paperwork.
is not able.
Not Courtney.
No, I'm
Emerson?
sorry, not Emerson.
Okay, I was just
If
saying.
Emerson,
I don't sign
if
any of
Emerson
Courtney's
were
stuff.
in the hospital,
Yeah.
it would be your and Courtney's debt. It would not be Emerson's debt because she is not old enough to accrue debt.
When she
So, but even if she passes, it's not her debt because she's a
That is
minor.
correct.
correct.
Huh.
You-
So we do a financial podcast, and I'm learning today.
Yes. So they will never pay those bills off.
Sure.
No, they never will.
And there's nothing they can do about it. They just look at it and go, well, we're never going to pay that. So whatever.
Fair enough.
You
Yeah.
know, they could if they won the lottery.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And it's not like they
If it's a
don't
big-
work
if it's a big
and
enough lottery.
they
why-
work
Yeah, that's what I'm
hard.
saying. It would
But
have to
I
be-
mean,
yeah. It'd be like Super Lotto or something like that.
there are just certain situations. Yes, Vanessa could absolutely pay off that $72,000 within a year,
Yep.
but she would have to make so many drastic changes to her life to do it.
That's exactly it. It's a matter of how much are you willing to give up. We were talking about this.
But you, all
I-
these
I hate
things
getting
you
off
were
topic.
talking about doing, you were doing before you had a kid, and maybe a little bit after you had a kid, but when she was too young to remember.
Sure. I mean, she's 6, and so I still do these things. But like we were talking about this in dating, right? So like, person was like, "Oh, it's so hard to date when you're older, right? You got. I mean,
It's
you
impossible
did
to
it when
date
you
when
were
you're older.
when you were a 12-year-old, right? And it's like, oh, it's hard to find this, and it's like, all right, given the opportunity, you're committing yourself to a new person, and your 12-year-old has a function they have to go to, and they say, hey, I'm only in town for this date as this person. This is the only date I can date.
I'm still taking my kid.
Of course, right? That's always, but now it's, it's a matter of what do you want in life, right? Like the correct answer for people who think that their kids is number one, like it's always the kid, right?
Yep.
But like now, hey, if the passion of your life and the idea of this like is worth it, you will make that decision, right? Like, and so
Well, it
It's
depends on
all
what
about
it is. I
decisions.
mean, if it's something like, I missed my daughter's first choir concert when I was on my cruise. I had
Mhm.
planned the cruise long before I even knew she was going to take choir in
Sure,
sixth grade.
sure.
And I mean, she was a little sad I wasn't going to make it, but she also understood. I'm like, I did this a year ago. I didn't know what you were going to take as a class. I didn't know when any of these concerts would be. I'm like, if I could be there, I would be there. I said, but I'm not going to cancel my cruise. I canceled the cruise because my daughter was in the hospital for
Yes.
2 days.
Mhm.
That's important.
So the only concert I ever am happy that I went to of Caitlin's for choir, because they make all the kids take it in till 5th grade, was the one where the kid couldn't stop adjusting his junk. Because my mother went to that one too, and we laughed and laughed because
And
this
what's-
kid just couldn't stop.
What's
adjusting
really
himself.
funny is with the older kids, which I mean, the youngest of the older kids is just a few years younger than your daughter.
Yep.
They always had school concerts. I
Yep.
mean, it would be it was band. It wasn't called choir. So I mean, it was usually singing because they weren't, but usually by 4th or 5th grade, they were playing the recorder and maybe something else. But, you know, by the time my two were actually they'd got rid of that. Partly was the music teacher at that point had retired that kept wanting to do that. So I think maybe when Max was in kindergarten, I saw a concert of his. Otherwise, never saw anything until Max was in band and Addie was in choir in middle school.
So to kind of bring this back to student loans. So one of the big issues is you see all these people, especially the boomers, that are like, well, there should be no loan forgiveness. And, you know, then you see the other people like me and probably Mike, where we go, hey, I get it. Should it be free? Maybe not necessarily free, but would I have any issue with, you know, slicing $50,000 in student loans? No, I wouldn't, because I know that these institutions have made 10 times that on the interest they've charged on these loans. And if they mismanage their money so fucking badly that that's going to put them out of business, that's their problem.
Well, I think
And they were right amongst the groups that were asking for
Oh yeah, we bailed them out
Yeah.
time and time again.
multiple times, right? And like that's one of my issues is we've bailed them out, and then now you're asking. But like, if you were to say, hey, I'd like to set a limit on what you can charge, right? Like, hey, take this out. It's a 30-year loan, like a house, right? Like, hey, you have this amount of time if you want to pay it back early. Great. Like, you know, I'm down for that, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to do offer arms? You know, you want to make more money, do it. Hey, we'll give you a discount if you take it this way, if you do it this way. Like, that's the way I look at it. Sure. But I don't know, the idea that people say, oh, I can't pay it back. Like, no, you
I
can.
have no problem paying it back, but even if they slash 50,000, I still owe more than what I started off with.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the bottom line.
And you've been making the payments. Okay, maybe not all of them, but you've been making payments.
Yeah. I mean, so like my 72,000, there are, I think 3 or 4 that are in the federal 0% interest rate now. And that is like 43,000. So I'm still making payments on student loans, even with the government deferment, because the ones I'm making payments on are not in that category. So even if they eliminate the 50,000, I still have student debt. I'm still paying interest, and I'm still have more debt than what I took out.
Well, not really. I mean, you took out 32,000, right?
30.
Okay, and then 50,000. You're at 72 right now, so you'd be at, you know.
But
20.
the ones that are there are only like 41, 42,000. That's in that federal of what they would eliminate.
Sure.
So I still would have more than 50% of my 72,000.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but what do you want, right? Like, what's going to make you happy and want to pay your debt back?
I want to pay it back. I have been paying it back. You know, I'm not above paying my debt. I'm not above paying the student loans, but like David was saying, the predatory part of it, you know, I was taken advantage of. You know, it's just the way it was. I mean, even eliminating what I have in the federal portion, I'm still paying, even if it was 10,000, even if it was 30 or 40, it's still better than where I'm at.
So, and this brings up a good point. So when Vanessa took it out, when you took it out, you took out the loan, right? You took it out?
I did.
Vanessa, you took out the loan, correct?
Yeah.
So my daughter's a great example. I'm even a good example because I filled out fast for myself before, just in case somebody wants to give me money.
Sure, of course.
They've given me student loans.
Yep.
And I call them up and I'm like, take this shit off my fucking account. And they go, well, you have to fill out some documentation and send it in and do this and do that. And it's like, no, fuck you. Just take this shit off. I didn't ask for a loan. I don't want a fucking loan. I don't agree to a fucking loan, but they're just giving it to people now.
I wonder if we can sue for that.
I'm sure there's a lawyer that would take that.
And so there should be a lawyer, and you should, gosh, I mean, it's just going to become a what do they call those suits?
Class action.
Class action
Yeah.
lawsuit, right? So like, but I mean, maybe that'll stop them in their tracks, right? But like, you say, hey, I'm sitting at 8% interest, or 6% and 3% and stuff. I mean, you're smart enough now to where there's multiple things that you can do to get lower interest and stop these things from being compounded on a daily basis, right? I mean, there's so many, especially now in your older age, right? And now that you've sat through things, there's ways to stop it. So I think the big key to me is getting these people to understand, hey, if I took out a debt, I need to figure out how to roll these things. I mean,
Yeah.
So
There should be a way to roll them into something that's lower interest.
anybody know the name of the football stadium that the Super Bowl is played in?
SoFi.
Yeah, SoFi.
Oh, okay. Does anybody know what they do?
Yeah, they do. Loans.
College loans, right? Like, so there's a whole football stadium. So like you can go to SoFi and literally just like what do you call that? The Prosper.
Yeah.
Right. So you can put out, hey, these are my loans. Who wants to earn interest on it? And you'll get cheaper than that,
Yeah.
right? Like, so
But again, it should just be a system that isn't so aggressive to begin with. I mean, and then like he said, all the work you have to do to not take out the loan. It's basically like all the paperwork you have to do to get like a mortgage is the paperwork you have to do to not get a student loan.
Yes.
And that's insane.
So what you said, Mike, there is a good point. It should be, but for business and banks, it shouldn't be because they don't make money on that. I'm not their customer. Okay. I'm not their customer when it comes to loans. I'm not their customer when it comes to credit cards. I'm not their customer when it comes to a mortgage because I'm paying everything off fucking early. I'm not carrying interest and you're going to hate giving me money. But I'm, 44. I learned how to do this. It's not easy. Okay. Nick will sit here and tell you all the time, what I do is not easy. It's extremely difficult. You have to be motivated. You have to, knock on doors to find houses to buy. I'm going to tell you the same thing with credit. It's not easy. Okay. Because it's sitting there and, you can just do this. Here, take my credit card and you charge $1,000 on it. Great. It doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. They're like, well, it's just a card. Who gives a shit? Okay. This is way harder to hand over to someone. This true, it's not backed by anything anymore, so it's not like it really has a value. But I mean, people say this is worth $20.
It's backed by the Chinese government.
Correct. So you can hand this to somebody, and they're going, "Wow, this is hard to get rid of."
Yeah, if you've got $1,000 cash in your hand, yes, it's a lot harder to say, take my $1,000 cash versus put $1,000 onto my credit card.
I spent $1,200 yesterday on plane tickets and insurance on the plane tickets.
where are you going?
Miami.
Fort Lauderdale. He's going.
Yeah, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale, and I'm coming back from Miami.
I'm surprised. I didn't think many places would do that, or you pay a lot more to fly in and out of. Maybe not as much. It used to be that way.
It used to be that way.
We
It's
gotta
not that
book
way.
ours yet. That's for October.
October, yeah.
Oh, so we're
I'm going to book
ours.
mine soon.
I don't know.
Well, you're gonna probably fly something I won't.
And with my bonus I'm getting from work, I'm going to probably buy first class.
I don't blame you.
I do.
I am not buying first class, but I will tell you that baggage charges are way less on American and United than they are on Delta. Half the price.
But that's why I apply first class, because then I can check one for free
2 bags.
or two for free.
Yeah, here's the deal. I'm going to spend $30 to check a bag instead of $600 a person to upgrade.
You
I
know,
would
I don't
only
really-
upgrade one.
I don't really care.
I don't blame you. If it was just me flying, I would probably do the same damn thing. But I got 3 of us, and I'm not picking one person to go to first class. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that one person would be me.
No, wouldn't it'd be Caitlin, and you know it.
No,
Oh,
fuck that.
no,
She
it
can
would
sit
be
in the
him.
back.
She don't
It
drink
would
enough.
be him.
I'm fat. I need
Look at
room.
him compared to his daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
I need room. Let's go through a few more of these tweets here, Nick.
All right.
So
I can't even read
Brian
that.
Tyler Cohen, who I love, corporations are bragging about record high profits while Americans are paying more than ever. It's not inflation, it's price gouging.
Fact.
Did I have more? Did we talk about Carnival?
We have not talked about Carnival yet.
And I just told you about Carnival. So another Dan Price. In 2020, Carnival Cruises lost $10 billion. Thousands of employees were laid off or furloughed. The CEO got a 19% raise to $13.2 million.
He has to fix his tweet though.
He
only said
does
202.
202. I know, but I knew what he was saying. 2021, Carnival lost even more money. Cruises just didn't happen. The CEO got a 13% raise to 15 million. Because again, these
And it's not like in certain things like this aren't lies because they're publicly
They're
traded
public knowledge,
company. Yeah. So this is all part of like their yearly
yes,
reports.
yeah. So the one Nick wanted to talk about, because he got pissed off at Dan for this, and I mean, I can see kind of both ways here. Domino spent $50.4 million and counting on TV ads to brag about giving local businesses a total of $100,000. And now they're going to pay you $3 to pick up your order, so you don't have to pay delivery driver. So they don't have to pay delivery drivers decent wages.
Yeah, but every company does delivery fees. I mean,
They
it's
do.
just that's not a Domino's thing. I mean, yeah, the fact that they're spending billions of dollars to basically say they gave a small portion of that is crazy.
Yes.
I mean, my company likes to give money, but they don't, well, buy commercial time. I mean, I'm sure they go to their stock, owners and say, hey, this is how much we donated to the local communities where our sites are and everything.
So I know Nick wants to talk about Domino's. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think that, I'm not gonna tell you where to spend your fucking money.
Okay.
Again, how much did Dan Price give to local?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so shove it.
My only thought on this is I think it's great that Domino's gave money to small business. I think that's wonderful. And they bought gift cards and they handed it out to people.
Yep.
That's great.
Mhm.
But I do see the point of, the media blitz of $50 million being a little bit ridiculous because again, you didn't do it for the altruistic goal of I'm doing something good. I don't need the publicity. You did something good just to get the publicity. So people are now like, hey, Domino's is great.
I mean,
But
you look at
but it's
every
bullshit.
every year, what is it, Nissan or whatever, does they advertise the fact that we gave millions of dollars to charity, but then again, it's to publicize the fact that they give money with the hopes that that's going to give them a return on investment.
Yes.
Well, there's multiple things, right, that we have going on here. So, like, one, I mean, yes, they're doing it for why can't I brag about? I don't brag all the time about my good deeds, right? Like, but why can't I?
Okay,
Like,
you can't.
Here's the entire thing.
Number two,
Yes, let them brag. Throw it on social media. Much less expensive than like a Super Bowl commercial.
Are you in a meeting?
no,
Yeah.
are you in a meeting?
I'm in a meeting.
Hi.
Hi.
Dad,
So, right, and then the other thing was
bye.
bye.
Felt like we just had Emerson here.
Son, by the way.
Yeah.
Bye, son. It's a bison.
Is that M. Bison from
It is Street Fighter.
He's a trip, y'all.
The other thing was the $3 an hour thing. I mean, that doesn't bother me. Like,
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
they're not paying. They're just giving a thing back. Not
Yeah.
so they don't. No, it's because people don't want to drive or whatever. Oh, they can pay more when people drive. No, like, I'm just like you, and the fact that I don't think. All right, when I was a kid and I couldn't drive, my mom gave us extra money to make sure that we tipped the driver.
Yeah.
My grown ass adult life, there's not a single time. I mean, I've Uber Eats because I was drunk, but like, there's no. I can't.
You don't
think,
get delivery.
I cannot think of a
Yeah.
time I've paid for delivery.
So I
pay-
remember.
I pay for delivery. Just
No, God,
I don't
no.
always, but some places I want to order from, I don't want to drive to.
I get that. So I remember the pandemic was, going, but we were able to go do shit.
Yeah.
So you came up, I think Mikey might have been there. Nick and Courtney came over with Emerson and bought Pepinos.
Yep.
Somebody sober had to go and drive to Pepinos because Nick and I were not sober and you were not sober.
But I wasn't.
Which
But
probably
Nick
meant
was-
Don and Courtney went to
Probably.
Tito's.
So, and it was one of those things where Nick was like, no, I'll buy the pizza, but we're not getting it fucking delivered. Drive your ass down there and get it.
But Pepino's isn't even that far. I mean, Pepino's I would drive to.
It's around the corner. Yeah.
Pepino's I would drive to unless I was too drunk to do it. I do the same thing. One of the places I like to get breakfast from sometimes on a Saturday when I don't have my kids is about a mile away.
Yeah.
I remember ordering through them, and this was actually, I did this, it was New Year's Day. It would have been 2020 going into 2021. So it was during COVID. So I had gone to my sister's with my kids. Everybody spent the night. My parents were there. We wanted to order breakfast. So we ordered from this place called Michelle's.
Okay.
Not realizing that they had a site you could pay for. So we did DoorDash, but I went to pick it up because we didn't want to wait like an hour and a half for delivery. Well, one of the first things they said is, hey, please order through our app and or through our website and, save us the third party fees. So, I mean, they're a mile away. I go get my food from them.
Yeah.
Especially since quite often on a Saturday morning, I might be hitting a bank or hitting the grocery store or something like
Lord,
that.
I hope you're not hitting a bank.
Hungover.
That's like illegal to go out and hit a bank.
Come on.
I'm using my little tech, my
1950s.
tech to steal from the ATM. I'll go into a bank. I'm not like him.
I always go into a bank. This is how things work.
With a stack of cash to pay your mortgages. We
Factual
know.
statement.
I mean, if I've got a large deposit, when I used to be the treasurer for like scouts and stuff like that, I went into the bank because like you said, I wanted a receipt. I don't care about whether, sometimes when I'm taking money out of the ATM, like I took out almost $1,000 yesterday to pay for summer camp and a bunch of other things for scouts for my kids. And yes, I took a receipt for that.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
if I'm doing a $5, quick withdrawal, I mean,
no,
I've got
never
credit.
once gotten $5.
Okay, well, I've got credit union, so I don't pay for,
Sure,
fees for taking money out of other credit unions.
sure.
And yeah, nowadays you can take in multitudes of $1.
I know I lost a $5 bet on that.
So
Shit, you're not. I didn't know you could get $1 out.
Dawn went and made a deposit for me yesterday,
Yeah.
and they were really busy at the bank. And the teller is a former player of mine.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Hey, Dawn, I'm really busy. Do you need a receipt?" And Dawn's like, "No, just take care of it." And she's like, "Okay." So I said to Dawn, I'm like,
Where's my receipt?
No, I'm like, "How did you make a deposit?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Then why was it only $6? Because I know you had a $25 check and I know you had 2 dimes. So where's that money?" She goes, "Oh, well, they were busy, but Kaylee was handling it. So I figured it was fine. I'll go find out what's up today at the bank." So she goes in and Kaylee's like, "Yeah, I remember that. I must have fucked that up." So,
And that happened once with one of the deposits I made for scouts. We had deposited, it was right during our popcorn sale.
Yep.
So I deposited $4,000. It got put into the wrong account.
oh yeah.
Oh, I've been there, done that.
See, and
And then we get paid like the $3,000 or
Oh, yeah.
$4,000 out. And yeah, we had checks bounce. And because what we do is we'd have a lot in savings and only have a small amount in checking to keep
yep.
from, and basically the treasurer was there to be like, okay, we're going to put, $1,500 check out. Let's, move that. Because we never like to keep more than 1,000 or 2,000 in the check because it's much easier to access a checking account in most
Absolutely.
cases than it is a savings account.
Well, and Dawn went in there and they fixed it right away. No
Yeah.
issues.
Oh yeah, they do.
So I got my deposit made. It was a day late, so I lost a little bit of interest, but I live. It's okay.
Like a penny or two.
Yeah, probably.
Still,
Um,
2 pennies adds up.
So
Uh,
we're at 2.5 hours here, Nick.
yeah.
You should probably wrap up soon, huh?
Say, yeah. Hey, guys, appreciate you guys listening. This could go on for days and
We
hours
could
because
talk.
I enjoy arguing with people, especially when I know I'm right. Guys, again, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. Michelob, yeah, thanks.
What'd you think?
Angry Orchard hard cider, old fashioned. I really enjoyed it.
It's good, isn't it,
I
Mike?
would do another
But
one.
What'd you think of yours?
well, like we said, I think early at the episode, the Yingling Hershey's was, it was decent, but definitely
okay.
underwhelming.
Yes, very underwhelming.
Parent Imperial Fudge Stout, very good.
Very good.
And not as strong as a lot of Imperials. This one's only about 9%.
Yeah.
And I really liked the Victory
Sour.
Sour Monkey because I do like sours a little bit. So
You
yeah.
do. And I thought my Sinful from Angry Orchard was very good, even though I was not allowed to drink today. I did have a couple, so I guess my procedure will be what it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't die on us.
I'm gonna try not to die. That's usually the goal nowadays. Thanks for joining us again, Vanessa. Thanks for hopping on and giving us your perspective on student loans. We will be live on nothing next week because we're going to be at Hendy's house and
Just recording on
recording.
laptop.
But I think I'm going to take everything down. I'm going to take the camera. I'm going to take the
Oh, cool.
microphones. I think I'm going to take everything.
Good.
So we'll do a full thing down there, and it'll probably go 2.5 hours too, because I love to talk to Steve and he loves to make drinks.
There we
So
go.
I'm still going to probably just bring. I don't know if I want to drink the drinks he's going to make because I want to be able to drive home.
Nick and I might be in trouble.
It's the-
Anyways, thanks again for joining us, guys. We'll see you all next week.
You've dialed in to Bucks and Brews. You might hear something you can use, like tips on your cash or tips on the suds. You're gonna want to use the smarts of these stuff, cause they know the brews, and they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks. So listen up, cause shit's not funny. And save yourself some beer money. Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
Brews.
and Brews.
Bucks and Brews.